14,000 people. But Tuchel's friends there remember a boy whose ambitions lay far beyond the Bavarian community. His will to win was evident early. Tuchel often captained his youth football teams, and his school side lifted the national German football trophy in 1987. The Sport took the young defender on a whistle-stop tour of South Germany, from Augsburg to Stuttgart and then Ulm. A knee injury ended his playing career at the age of 25, though. Tuchel accepted his first coaching role in the Stuttgart youth setup in 2000, hired by none other than Ralf Rangnick. Under Tuchel's stewardship, the club's under-19s won their league title in 2005. But Stuttgart chose not to renew his contract, feeling Tuchel had an abrasive personality. He went on to manage Augsburg's second team before spending 5 years at the helm at Mainz. He then followed in Jurgen Klopp's footsteps and moved from Mainz to Dortmund. Here, Tuchel secured his first major silverware, the German Cup, in 2017. 8 more major trophies came next for Tuchel in just 5 glorious seasons. He won 2 League 1 titles and a pair of domestic cups as PSG boss. At Chelsea, he famously lifted the Champions League, as well as a Super Cup and a Club World Cup, and he also bagged a Bundesliga at Bayern Munich. And then, 4 months after leaving Bayern, Tuchel was unveiled as England's new manager.
I always wanted to come back to England. That was my big goal. I have the best memories of the country, of the league and of the players, the attitude towards the game, the attitudes from the supporters.
Well, here's hoping Tuchel can finally drag England over the line at a major tournament.
Come on now. You ready? You ready? Turn it up, Ed.
Hell of a result, wasn't it? Here we go. There's not a lot to shout about.
Come on then. Wolves, up the Wolves. And it's Wolverhampton.
Yeah.
Their song.
talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark, browse the UK's best used car deals. And score your dream car today. Check out the website for more details. Tell you what, Gab, I did say yesterday, this is nowhere near over. It's not over yet. You know what I mean? In the Premiership, there's always someone can score a cracker.
Yes.
Out of the blue. This is not over, this title race.
I just think for me, watching the game, Al, we'll come on to Newcastle later on, but watching the game, yes, Arsenal were the better team first half, but Wolves were showing a lot of fight defensively. Bueno at left back had Madueke in his pocket. Madueke got dragged in the second half. I thought Arsenal's attacking player didn't do much. Declan Rice, great assist for Saka's goal, but Arsenal were lethargic, they were slow, they were happy just to hold on to a lead, they were time wasting at the end. They weren't playing like a team that you'd say would win the title out. And
what if you're a yam yam? Are you not scratch your head after that game?
Yes.
How can we draw with the potential winners And there we're at the foot of the table looking up.
You'll be looking at that and saying, like, where has that been most of the season? Yes, Rob Edwards has come in and, you know, he's galvanised the squad. He sold a lot of players and brought in players as well, ready for next season. But last night they showed fight, Al. The fans are with them. They were putting tackles in. You know what? They didn't roll over.
Yeah.
When you look at their league position, you might think, oh, okay, games, they might roll over and they're going to take it easy. They were smashing into players. Mascara, the Wolves defender, kept on kicking Martinelli all game. Breno at left back, kicking Saka, kicking Madueke. They're up for the fight, Wolves, but Arsenal, listen, we might have had a bit of banter over the course of the season, Alan, but they are bottling it like you wouldn't imagine. They are bottling it, Alan. 3 wins in 2026.
Yes, I question the odds, thinking, it's just over, it's not over.
You're City, Al. It's in their hands now, Manchester City.
I know. Arsenal, they look... I said yesterday they should be 9 points clear. And City have somehow been whittling away. And when City have had chances already this year, they've blown it.
Yep.
But I just feel it's a different time of the year now. Pep's now thinking he smells blood. And what does this do for the North London derby at the weekend now?
Well, look at Arsenal again, Al. They've just played. They've got, 3 days rest, 4 days rest before they play Spurs. Spurs have had 12 days rest. The players have had 5 days off. They've been probably sunning themselves, enjoying a rest. New managers come in, new manager bounce. He's going to have them ready for it. Igor Tudor likes to play the 3 at the back. So this is a game where you start to look at and you start to say, Spurs, this is your chance.
Yeah.
You know, it's been so long since Spurs have beaten Arsenal in the Premier League. This is your chance. If you're Arsenal, you're looking at it and saying, oh, you could easily lose this game.
City play Newcastle, that long journey back.
Yes, Newcastle, fantastic result in Karabakh, but like you says, long travelling distance. No game for Manchester City midweek. You'd say Manchester City are favourite for this game. And you could come to the stage, Al, where if Man City win their game in hand on Arsenal, they'll go ahead of them.
Yeah, amazing.
If Arsenal lose to Spurs on the weekend.
Yeah, amazing. Right, what the hell happened? Arsenal 2-0 up cruising via goals from Saka and Hincapi before a beautiful Bueno curler. It was a good goal. A shambolic mix-up then led to a Calafiori own goal. Wolves up to 10 points. Probably too late for the Wolves, I'm afraid.
Yes.
On the sports bar last night, Jason Cundy, he ripped into Arsenal for dropping those points.
There's no way they should draw on that game, Jay. No way.
You've bigged up Arsenal so much this season,
I have,
mate.
I have, but it's the first.
And I'm telling you, they're not a great side.
Right, it's the first time.
They're a good team, but they're not a great side.
It's the first time I've said Arsenal all season. I've said it's the first time I've thought maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. First time tonight. And away at Wolves, the bottom side, one of the worst sides the Premier, not just this season, one of the worst sides the Premier League has ever seen. And they go 2-0 lead away at Wolves. Wolves are all over the place, mate.
Oh, mate, they were terrible.
And yet they score. They come back from 2-0 down. That's not the side of champions tonight from Arsenal. That nowhere near it, mate.
So, Arsenal, by the way, have a listen to this, have won only 3 of the 8 Premier League games so far in 2026. Let's hear how the Gunners reacted last night here on talkSPORT.
North London forever. The process is over. Title race is over. It's finished. It's over.
We played as if we had 9 players, no creation, no imagination, no flair, no link-up against Wolves.
Well, if you can't do it on a Wednesday night in February with sleet and snow, gents, then you don't deserve it.
He's not the guy to get us through. He's not the guy. The last 7 games in the Premier League, we've won 2 of them. He hasn't got the material. He's not got the nutrients. Minerals.
I just don't think Arteta has it anymore. We've bottled the league. He keeps going, trust the process. There is no process to trust.
If you could get like someone in, like a Klopp or something, who could take us to the finish line, because we're in such a good position.
In 2022-23 season, we were 8 points clear in January and bottled it. Oh, look, deja vu. It's happening again.
Arsenal are red, City are blue. When the league's in their hands, they don't know what to do.
Arsenal, bottle jobs, they do it every season.
Whatever the weather.
I'm pretty sure they'll have a day off today, but
They shouldn't.
I think they will.
Maybe they have to get that dog back out. The dog that they called Win. Maybe he's had a few days off.
But Mikel now has got to sit them down. I sit them down now, Gab, and say, guys, listen, you can't blow this now. No. Impossible. Look at our squad. Look around you. What a squad. What a squad. We cannot blow this.
Do you know what, Al? He needs to sit them down, or they need to have a team meeting today themselves, where you've got the leaders, Gabriel, Declan Rice, Saka, and you've got them together, Al, and you close the dressing room door and you say, guys, you know what's going to be said about us out there. We're bottle jobs. We do it every season. Man City are going to catch us. Are we going to allow that? Or are we going to kill that narrative and go on a run now and win the Premier League? Stop feeling sorry for yourselves. Right. Get out of this rut. Because 3 wins out of 8 in 2026, you're not going to win the Premier League in that form.
So, Gab, where we break now, where does that leave Villa?
Well, Villa win their game in hand. It's down to 5 points again.
And?
We're back. We're back in the title race, Al. We've got Leeds on the weekend.
Well, you got to think that.
Why not? Why not? Why not? You look at the last 5 games for Arsenal, 2 wins, 2 draws, and 1 defeat. If Aston Villa can beat Leeds, then it is back on for Villa as well. But I'm just looking at Pep Guardiola, Al, and he said something a couple of weeks ago in his press conference. He says, if they slip up, we'll be there. But I think he's been confident, Pep, that this Arsenal side, they haven't got it in them. They haven't got the cojones, Al. They haven't got what it takes to get it over the line. The pressure's been on for Arsenal, and it's happened before, Al. When you know you've been ahead and Man City have chased you down, they've chased you and chased you. Last season, Arsenal's final 13 games last season, Al. Only won 5, drew 6, lost 2. Yeah. Terrible form again. So if you're a betting man now, you're betting on Manchester City.
Arsenal fans, give us a call, 03717 223344. It's amazing what one game, the difference it makes. Yesterday, this time, in the morning, you're thinking, don't worry about a thing, it's all over. Well, is it all over now? How damaging could last night be? Are City now the title favourites? Could you have a quadruple coming up of seconds? I said yesterday for a bit of fun, Gab. What price Arsenal not to win anything?
Not to win anything.
Yeah, listen, I don't think that's going to happen, but...
You never know, Al.
People have a quick couple of little pounds on, they will.
Al, this game, this Carabao Cup final, it's going to be tight in the Premier League when that's played. If Manchester City win that, what does that do to Arsenal? Mentally,
and in fact, if you're a Tottenham, in the olden days, very briefly, if you're a Tottenham player, you are fired up like madness. Oh! Hey, boys, pressure. Come on, they're laughing at us. They ain't laughing this weekend, right? Yep. We're going to make this as hard as possible. In fact, we're going to beat them. Our season starts here. We're going to beat them. It's going to give us a bit of boom of oomph and thrust. We're going to finish the season well.
Guess when Arsenal last lost to Spurs in the Premier League?
Long time ago, is it?
2022. May 2022.
Rules are there,
Spurs fans are probably looking at their team, Al. New manager come in. Arsenal not in great form. This is your chance.
Who give Spurs a chance up at City? I mean, you just don't know with Tottenham.
You never know.
Someone's got to galvanise them. Someone's got to kick them right up the backside as they go out on that pitch.
Yep.
They have to.
Totally agree.
We'll take a look at the back pages coming next. No, dear Arsenal fans, it doesn't look too good.
These are my 3 big predictions this week. So first up, next Manchester United manager. Michael Carrick, he's been doing an amazing job to galvanise Manchester United players. 4 wins, 1 draw. And on the pitch, everything seems to be going well at Old Trafford. We've got Kobbie Mainoo back in the starting 11. Benjamin Šeško's looking good. Bruno Fernandes is just being Bruno Fernandes. So I can see why people want him to get the job. But for me, whilst he does understand the club, he understands the identity, I think I'd like to see a proven winner at the helm. Thomas Tuchel is out of the running. It would be difficult, I think, to bring in any other managers working at the World Cup. So I'm going to go with Luis Enrique. I think that he understands what it is to play for a big club, obviously ex-Real Madrid and Barcelona player, and what it is to manage a big club. He won the Champions League with Barcelona as a manager. And, with PSG, he transformed that PSG side. It was a group of ego-led expensive players, and he brought in hungry young players and turned them into a solid side. I'd like to see what he could do in the Premier League, so it feels like that's naturally the next step. But there is every chance that he might remain at PSG, so then I think that Carrick isn't a bad backup option, put it that way. Next up, I'm going with World Cup winner. And I'm going to be honest, I'm not sure if it's England. Spain obviously are contenders after winning Euro 2024. I think they fall short.
6:18 Villa fans as well. Let's hear from you. Are you back in it now?
100% we are.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
talkSPORT Breakfast. Gabby's with me. 03717 223344. Let's head to the phone line. Switchboard has gone crazy this morning. Josh is an Arsenal fan. He wants to have his say. Josh, a very good morning.
Good morning, Josh.
Morning, gents. How you doing?
I'm
good,
very
Josh,
well, mate.
Did you expect that last night or not, Josh?
You can't go 2-0 up at Wolves and not win.
Why?
The way they played this season, we should not be going. We're top of the table. How can you not? We're top of the table and we're 2-0 up at Wolves, and you don't win. It's a joke.
Isn't it what Arsenal do though?
Yeah, Gabby, come on, don't be stupid. Do you know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day,
it is though.
I think now, if Arteta does not win the trophy this season, I think he's taking the Arsenal as far as they can go. Then that's it.
Who, Mikel Southgate?
What's that?
Mikel Southgate? Just can't get you over the line?
Come on, Gabby. I know what you're trying to do. Behave yourself. Right, and you lot, you think you think Villa in the title race. You ain't in the title race. Come on.
Why not?
I don't. I just think City have got it now. I just don't. It's so frustrating. 2 wins in 7, absolute joke.
Josh, what about the weekend? Will you get to Tottenham or not?
No, I'm not watching. I'm not watching the Tottenham Arsenal game.
No.
That's not a proper fan, is it, mate?
Well, I'm sick and tired of it, Gab. Do you know what I mean? 3 years. 3 years. We just can't get over the line. And I just don't.
It's what you do, mate.
I don't understand. Well, this is the thing I was discussing with my mate last night. Has Arteta taken us as far as we can go? But then who do you get to replace him?
Yeah, Josh, there's a long way to go still, mate. But
keep your head up, mate.
They've really made it difficult and hard for themselves. City were dead and buried a while back, and now they've gradually clawed their way back in, and then you're 2-0 up and you draw 2-2. Not good, Josh, but that could change. Time now for a look at this morning's back pages.
Backpage review on talkSPORT.
Right, here she is, old Bucks Fizz. Olivia is with us in the studio.
What does that mean?
You're full of fizz, aren't you?
Oh, it's a good thing.
It's a compliment,
Oh, so you in orange for Wolves, or?
Wolves, and also this is Acorns Hospice.
Oh, lovely.
I'm an ambassador for.
So it's worked both.
So it's
Villa, Wolves.
Yeah, so I've got the Wolves colours on, but also I'm Acorns ambassador.
Ah, very sweet. Talking of the Wolves game, then.
Well,
it's all over the. I've actually quite enjoyed these back pages this morning.
So have I.
Squeaky gun time, quite like that on the back page of the Mirror. Dozy Gunners on the back page of the Express. Even though the goal's gone down as a Ricardo Calafiori own goal, but I'm giving it to
own goal.
Yeah,
no way.
Yeah, it's gone down as an own goal.
Yeah,
went down as an own goal.
It was going in though.
Well, technically it hit the post, didn't it? And the post isn't on target.
Oh, big
fuming. We're giving it to him. We're giving it to him. Tomadozi, that is your goal. On the back page of the Star, gotta be choking. And on the back page of the Sun, blown it straight to the point. But how have they blown it?
I listen. It's not over. Of course it isn't. They're still 5 points ahead. Manchester City, tough game against Newcastle. Newcastle looked very good against the Paul Carabag last night. But I just look at the form table. Yes, City's form is not great either, but 3 wins out of 8 in 2026 is not good enough for Arsenal. And they looked lethargic last night. They didn't look like a title-winning team. They looked nervous. They're time-wasting in the last few minutes against Wolves. And then after the game, Gabriel Jesus turns into, Hulk and thinks he's the hard man and done nothing when you come on. Like, you couldn't fight your way out of a paper bag. Gabriel, behave yourself.
Do you know only Palace and West Ham have dropped more points from winning positions than Arsenal in 2026?
Oh, I didn't know that.
So that's a remarkable stat. But there was a guy that texted on Early Breakfast this morning saying it couldn't have happened to a nicer fan base. Now, this is part of the reason that every single football fan, Gabby, apart from Arsenal, wants Manchester City to win the league.
100%.
It's because of their fans.
Their fans and
they're unbearable.
I've got friends who were at the game yesterday, and the Wolves fans were singing "Second again." Second again,
ole,
second
ole.
again. But because Arsenal fans are unbearable, Piers Morgan's the worst of the lot. You've got Joel Bayer coming on at 7 o'clock. His Instagram stories last night during the game, 7 points clear. Oh, we've scored the first goal. Okay, I'm going to go to bed now. It's over. And he got humbled last night. Simple as that. Arsenal fans, they're unbearable at times, even in this workplace at talkSPORT.
That's Henry. I've already said it was my favourite early breakfast this morning because I was coming in with a smile. Couldn't wait for Henry to get in this morning. I think he's in the gallery.
We had in November, Arsenal fans coming in here on this show saying, I can't wait for it to be done by April. Piers Morgan said March, didn't he, maybe? His birthday.
Yeah,
where's Piers today?
Take Piers
yeah.
tongue-in-cheek, don't you?
Where is he?
Al, do you agree about the fans, and that's the reason why everyone...
I don't.
You don't?
No, I think...
So why do you think everyone wants Arsenal to mess it up?
Chelsea, Tottenham, Arsenal...
But Chelsea back it up with trophies. Yeah. Arsenal fans haven't done that over the last 20 years, and I think that's why they've become a little bit unbearable, because they do act like they've been the best at everything, yet they don't have anything to show for it.
True. When it comes to trophies, I agree with you. But there's great banter between them, and that's great. It's not a problem. There's so many good sides in London.
There's no excuses, Al.
Pardon?
This year, no excuses.
No excuses.
No, we've said already.
The money
they've
spent,
months
the squad
ago,
they've got.
We said this is it. You can't bottle it again. And
what they're doing.
And some older, experienced managers have said to me, if he doesn't win it this time,
it's now or never.
Oh.
And they're saying they don't think he's got it in him, that final push. And I'm like, really?
Do you think he's got it in him, Arteta, to get them over the line?
Yeah, I do. But I think City, I still can't see Villa in the type of form they're in being a player, but I can see City going on a great run now. So Arsenal have to.
They can't drop any more points.
No.
But they've got Spurs, obviously, in the North London derby. Then they've got Chelsea.
A couple of days ago...
I'm at that game at the Emirates.
Well, a couple of days ago, you're saying to yourself, I told them they should be fine.
No.
But all of a sudden now I'm thinking, regardless of Arsenal's record against Spurs, which is superb, Tottenham, if they've got any you-know-what about them, they'll get stuck right in.
I actually think that, any team now facing Arsenal are probably not going to be as maybe worried or as scared as they perhaps maybe once were because
I'll tell you an example is... When Manchester City played them at the Etihad, they will not park the bus like they did at the Emirates at the start of the season.
Arsenal will, I think.
No,
I
but
think
City did, didn't they?
Yes.
Pep brought a defender on. He went 5 at the back. He was frightened. He didn't have his best team out. Now Manchester City have got Stones ready to go. Diaz is back.
Yeah.
You know, I think they're only missing documents.
I wouldn't slag Arsenal off too much at the moment because you look at the table, there's a gap there. What if City slip up?
And actually, this season,
of course,
every time, you know, we've spoken about Arsenal when they dropped points against United, they followed it up with the win against Leeds. Yeah. I think it's how they respond in the North London derby that will give you that'll be the most telling.
Yeah.
But let's move on quickly because I'm sure you'll cover Arsenal plenty more in this show. To Anthony Gordon, on the back page of the Mirror, 4 goals is so flash for Gordon. 4 blimey on the back page of the Star. Gordon's got it in the bag. Played centre forward for Newcastle last night, scored 4 first half goals. He's been in Thomas Tuchel's September, October and November England squads. Yeah. So, I mean, the fact that he can now potentially play centre forward, which is a backup for Harry Kane, we're not quite sure who that's going to be. Is he definitely on the plane to America?
I think he was always on the plane.
Yeah.
I think it was only until recently, wasn't it, that he scored his first goal from open play.
Yeah.
It was a penalty in the Premier League, recent. And I watched the game yesterday against Karabakh. Honestly, like me, Al, and Ali would have got a brace each. They look like
I reckon I'd have got a brace as well.
They've been dragged into play and can just go out and play together the first time. They were terrible.
Can I just say that they definitely didn't play like that when Chelsea played against them? They actually looked like a serious football team when we played against them.
It looked like a Sunday League team had been dragged to come and play in a Champions League game. The way Newcastle were running right through the middle of that defence, Newcastle could have scored, Al. No joke.
Yeah, no,
15 goals.
I was watching, kept on
15 goals they could have scored. To only score 6 was Paul from Newcastle. They were garbage. But Anthony Gordon, 10 Champions League goals in 9 appearances, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy record.
There they are, middle of the table. Yeah. Right, I've got to move on, Olivia. Thank you. We'll see you in a minute, right? Come out, we'll continue taking your calls, Arsenal fans. That's the number to call, 03717 223344. You're still the favourite, so we'll discuss that next. We'll also be joined by Henry Winter. Look, Henry's been and seen all this before. As the alleged racism scandal between Benfica and Vinicius Jr., that, I'm afraid, is still rumbling on.
Would you want an old rival as yours? And Liverpool fans, is there any chance that he could come back if Slot gets the bullet? Now, you were asking me whether or not I would have taken Klopp at Man United, and I said not in a million years. Yes. Let's speak to another Man United fan. He goes by the name of George. Hello, George. How are you?
Hello, George.
Yeah, hi. Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm good, man. How are you today?
Not too bad. Not too bad.
Good. What would you like to say, George?
I've been supporting United for 65 years. But do you cut off your nose to spite your face?
Mm-hmm.
You pose the question that if you can guarantee that within 2 years Klopp can win you the league, go for it. Why not? It'll get United back to winning ways.
Yeah, okay, but I mean there is no guarantee of that. But here's my question: would you take that gamble? That's my question.
Yeah, I would. Look at what we've done in the past few years. Look at all the managers that have come and gone. They've all proved done. You know he's a proven manager. If it wasn't for City, as much as I'm United and against Liverpool, but if it wasn't for City, they would have won 3-4 more leagues.
Yes.
You know that. So that's a fact. I go by facts. The fact is that he's a very good manager. And you don't cut off your nose just to spite your face.
Spot on, George.
Why not?
Okay.
We need him.
George,
we need him.
George, thank you for that.
Well said, George.
With Klopp, I'm a little bit sort of like, I know he's a good manager, but he only won the league once.
Yeah, but look at the Man City side he was playing against.
Oh, Leicester managed to win the league in that, didn't they?
But as well, Klopp has never really
fancied having a beer in the stands while watching your team at the Emirates? Well, this season you actually can, and not just there. You can do it at Anfield, Goodison Park, Stamford Bridge and Old Trafford too. But hold on, I hear you cry. Isn't drinking alcohol in the stands at Premier League games illegal? You're right, for the men's game it still is, but the Women's Super League is doing something different. And here's how we got there. Back in the 1980s, football had a serious image problem. The sport was plagued by violence, pitch invasions and beer-fuelled chaos. From fan riots at the 1980 Scottish Cup final to the Heysel disaster years later, things were unsafe and the consequences were disastrous. Then in 1985, Margaret Thatcher's government stepped in. They introduced the Sporting Events Control of Alcohol Act, banning alcohol in view of the pitch across England and Wales. Since then, many fans and clubs have called for the law to be relaxed, especially since other sports don't face the same restrictions. If you're popping down to watch the Red Roses roar at Twickenham, feel free to grab a pint on the way to your seat. Wandering down to Lords to catch some boundary bashing? Fill your boots with G&Ts. But if you were hoping to cheers your club's promotion to the Premier League with a Prosecco in hand from pitchside, sorry, it'll have to be tea or Bovril. In 2021, it looked like things might finally change. The government commissioned the Crouch Report, a fan-led review into football governance. One recommendation was to allow League Two and National League clubs to lift the alcohol ban to boost matchday revenue. But nothing came of it. Authorities still weren't convinced that fans could be trusted. And then in January 2025, something did change. The Women's Championship, now called the WSL2, launched a trial allowing fans to drink in the stands. The reasoning? Well, fans at women's matches tend to behave differently. Less aggression, more family-friendly vibes. Now, the women's game is raising the bar, literally. Select WSL and WSL2 stadiums are allowing fans to drink alcohol in view of the pitch. It's been a landmark move, showing growing trust in fans and recognising that women's football is building its own culture. So could the men's game be the next to leave the 1980s behind? Well, maybe, if fans can prove they can handle a pint without pitching it at someone. Yeah, don't.
This is talkSPORT Breakfast with me, Brazil Gabby, and Arnold Clark with over 20,000 used cars online to choose from. They'll have the car for you. Have a look. 03717 223344 is the number to call. Arsenal fans this morning, is anyone still positive out there? You've got to be. Phil is an Arsenal fan who's given us a call this morning. Good morning, Phil.
Good morning, Phil.
Morning, guys. Morning, guys. You all right?
Yeah, Phil, look, that was a hiccup, a major hiccup, 2-0 up. But, you know, you've got to put that behind you right away now and get on with the next game.
At the end of the day, top of the league, 5 points clear. It's still in our hands. I don't understand where all this dourness is coming from. And Man City are now favourites. I don't get it at all. You know, we're top of the league.
Hello?
Phil, you there? I think Gabby's just cut Phil off there.
Phil?
Yeah, I'm still here.
You're still there, mate. But it's in Manchester City's hands as well, isn't it?
Mm.
Say again?
It's
yeah,
also in Manchester City's hands. Yeah.
Yeah, we're still in 4 competitions. All this rubbish you're spouting before. Why did everyone want Man City to win? Well, yeah, some of our fan base are a bit over the top, all started by AFTV, by the way. But look at us, we're classy, we've got integrity, we're not chasing 115 charges. Too right we have. You know, you're going on about Chelsea, they bought all their trophies. Come on, do yourself a favour. You're on the wind-up, you this morning.
But aren't you worried with the form? Only 3 wins out of 8 so far this year, 2026. And if you look at your form last season, you only won 5 of your last 13 games.
Well, form's always a worry, but you look at every team this season so far that's been up there, been fighting. Liverpool have had a blip, Chelsea have had a blip, you know, City have had a blip. Maybe this is our blip, and it's not a bad time to have it when you're 5 points clear on top of the league.
Okay, Phil, thank you. Phil seems to think you've got something against the Arsenal game.
No, I used to love Arsenal as a kid. My second team, got a shirt at home. Arsenal.
But why are you bitter? Is that because they never signed you?
No, I wouldn't have left to Arsenal. When they were interested in me, they were fighting with Villa for the same. No, listen, I like Arsenal as a football club, but their fan base are unbearable. It's facts
Really?
out. Yeah, especially the social media Arsenal fan base. And even on here, when we question Arsenal one little bit, they phone up. Why are you speaking about Arsenal? So-and-so lost. Why are you bringing Arsenal up? But listen, we have to. You drew against Wolverhampton Wanderers. You were 2-0 up, and you drew 2-2. We're going to talk about it.
I'm just looking at the table now, and Villa, I wonder what the Villa players are thinking. There's some of the stupid points you've thrown away just of late.
Yeah, but we're struggling now because at the moment, if Morgan Rogers doesn't show something, then Brendy has been off it. Leon Bailey's come back, who the manager's not really rating. Watkins hasn't been on his best. Tammy Abraham's still getting used to the Premier League again. We look a bit off it. As to Sancho, he has one good game. Then the next 3 games, he can't get past the player. So Aston Villa won't be in the title race, but they need to keep winning games because the chasing pack are coming, especially Manchester United, Chelsea.
So some of the back pages this morning, they focus on the Vinicius Junior racism story during Madrid-Benfica. UEFA have now launched an investigation after Benfica player Prestiani allegedly made a racist remark towards Vinicius Junior. The punishment could be a minimum of 10 games if found guilty, whereas Benfica, the club, have come out and defended the player, saying he's a victim of the situation. Gabby, you weren't happy with Josie, were you, and how he reacted to the situation, as a lot of ex-players were not happy?
Yeah, I was watching it live on Amazon Prime, and I was actually waiting to see Mourinho's comments, and I think he got it all wrong. He tried to defend his player, Al, and listen, it's alleged. We have to say that, but Vinicius Junior isn't going to run off to the referee and complain like he did and come off the pitch for 10 minutes if what he said didn't happen. And Mbappe also says, he said it 5 times, a disgusting word to Vinicius Junior. But Mourinho's comments...
Was he close enough to hear it, Gab, from what you've seen?
From what I've seen, he could have been. Who knows?
Could have been.
He could. Yeah, Mbappe could have been.
By the way, I'm not taking sides.
No, I know.
Before I start calling this guy
but you don't know how many times. There were probably 3 different times where the player was close enough to say stuff. That one, the main one that everyone's seen, that's when Vinicius Junior heard it. Maybe the players heard it at different times. But what I don't understand from Mourinho's comments is, if you look at the biggest player in Benfica's history, Eusebio was black. Benfica is not a racist club. What's that got to do with it? No one has said that Benfica is a racist club. Vinicius Junior's not said that. Mbappe's not said that. What they've said is that there's been an alleged racial comment to one of the players. So Mourinho, you're in defence mode for the club you're working for, but that's such a stupid comment. That's like saying, "Oh, my mate is black, so I can't be racist." Yes, you can. Just because you've got a black friend doesn't mean you can't be racist. So just real weird comment from Mourinho, and he's lost a lot of his fan base for those comments as well.
Let's say a very good morning with writer, journalist and host of the Sunday edition, Henry Winter. Morning, Henry.
Morning, Henry.
Morning, Alan. Morning, Gabby.
Henry, we'll do a little bit of the Arsenal as well, Henry, but just your take so far, because we've got to hear, this is going to rumble on, I think. Who heard it? What exactly was said? Josie saying, no, I've spoken to both players. How do you feel, Henry, about this? We've got to be careful in terms of calling this guy racist, but if he has said it and overheard, then he's in trouble.
Sadness, anger, familiarity with this story. I helped John Barnes write his book 20 odd years ago, and a lot of that was about the racism that he endured in football, in society. This is a societal curse that we haven't eradicated in society that's invaded football. Now, as you rightly say, and Gabby rightly says, this is an allegation at the moment, but why does a player basically try and mask what he is saying? So Prestiani absolutely has questions to answer. UEFA are looking into that. I don't think it's going to be sorted by the time of the second leg, which obviously ramps the tension up even more. But you just look at Vinicius Junior, who's such a special player. We should be celebrating his talent, as we do, and that goal. And then the sadness that he has to endure these an allegation in this case. He's absolutely adamant Mbappe was close by. Trent Alexander-Arnold came out afterwards and said it was a disgrace to football. So, and the sadness is Vinicius Junior I think he's been through like sort of 15, 20 of these incidents when he's been racially abused. So this is a bigger issue than simply this one, and it's something that football and society has got to get a grip of. Whether that's with longer punishments,
Henry,
whether that with re-education of individuals if they are found.
It doesn't make it right, but is there what's the word now? Between Brazilian players and Argentinian players, over in South America, some of the language they use would not be acceptable in Europe. Whereas they sometimes shrug their shoulder. What's the big problem?
They've always got problems, haven't they, as a team? Look at Otamendi pointing
make it right,
pointing to his World Cup tattoo to Vinicius Junior. But Henry, I can understand the audacity of Mourinho, who celebrated goals and celebrated wins in the worst way possible at times. And he says, when you score a goal like that, you celebrate in a respectful way. What, having a dance at the corner flag? Cunha recently scored against Manchester, was it against Arsenal, and done a dance. No, he didn't get racially abused. Like, we're taking the joy out of the game. Are we trying to tell players what they can do when they score? Like, the audacity of Mourinho.
You're completely right. I mean, the game's about goals, the game's about joy, the game's about celebrations. I was in Naples covering a game in Italian 90 when Roger Milla did one of the scored a great goal and did that celebration. And, it's one of those memories that stay with you. It's one of the iconic moments in football.
Well, Henry, you just have to remember Jose at Old Trafford. Yeah. On his knees, slipping down the line.
At the new camp.
Yeah, I mean, the irony of Jose complaining about over-celebrating is a bit much. I actually didn't think that what Vinicius Junior did at the corner flag was particularly bad. I mean, I was surprised he got booked for it.
And I think as well, the players would have loved the atmosphere as well in that game. Yes, the bottle throwing, not right, but the atmosphere was a proper European tie, wasn't it, Henry? And also, the Eusebio comments. I mean, what is Mourinho thinking? No one says Benfica was a racist club, did they, Henry?
No, and they're not saying that Precioni's a racist player. They're saying, and we've been down this road before with language. Obviously, went through it with Suarez, but he is accused of making a racist comment, and that absolutely has to be analysed. So this whole thing has expanded, and I wish UEFA would tackle these issues a little bit more quickly if they could, because it certainly stokes up the atmosphere for the next game.
Yeah, Henry, just start away from that. Pardon me, from last night, two last night, excuse me, not 2 nights ago, 2 last night. It's really put the cat amongst the pigeons now ahead of a North London derby. Wolves showing a bit of character, maybe too late, but coming back from 2-0 to draw with everyone thinks the champions. Arsenal, City are rubbing their hands together. Maybe Tottenham fans are rubbing their hands together. Now Arsenal fans are now beginning to think, not again. Not again. How did you view it?
You guys have been there, but I think it's psychological. You look at the facts, the stats. Manchester City have the same amount of points as Arsenal in the last 8 games, but there's this feeling of momentum with Manchester City, the muscle memory, certainly for a few of their players, of winning the title. Pep's got that. There's a confidence and a momentum to Manchester City. With Arsenal, whether it's the time wasting, whether it's the caution late on in games, they've got to rediscover that. And look, they've got good players in there. If you're going to make a team of the season, you'd have Declan Rice, possibly Zubamente, and definitely Gabriel in there. And they've got to rally around those players, be more positive late on in games. And remember that actually, they qualified strongly into the Champions League. They're in one final. They're progressing in another cup. They're 5 points clear, possibly only 2 points clear, depending what happens with the City Newcastle game. So look, all is not lost. They've lost one game in 20, 2 in 39. So they've had worse seasons.
But in recent form, Henry, obviously Brentford, tough place to go. 1-1 draw is not a bad result. But if you look at the Forest game, you look at the Liverpool game, the Manchester United game, and also does that second goal last night just show the nerves starting to creep in?
Definitely nerves, and I think the nerves are slightly self-inflicted. I think some of the time wasting, two of the games that you mentioned, well, three arguably, Brentford, certainly going back to the Forest games, Forest fans were still fuming at Arsenal time wasting. There was time wasting. I mean, Declan Rice, who's a player we all admire, but 61 seconds to go over and take a corner when you're as fit as he is, I just think it set the wrong tone. And look, it's about a little tweaking psychologically and getting back on track. And look, I'm talking to you guys, but being, finishing those goals, because they are creating the chances.
Henry, will you be at Tottenham at the weekend?
No, I will be. I'll be in the studio, but that is going to be a tense one because Tottenham will absolutely be up for it. A, because of their relegation fears. B, because of the new manager, and C, because they would love to put a spoke in Arsenal's title wheel.
Henry, brilliant. Thank you. Henry Winter there. For more of the brilliance of Henry Winter, check out the latest episode of How to Win the World Cup, which is now live wherever you get your podcasts from. Excuse me. Right. Still to come right here on the Sports Breakfast.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Download the new improved app to easily manage your accounts and quotes.
Yes. This is the one you've all been waiting for. Presenter and deluded Arsenal fan Joe Bear will be right here on the studio to lose his mind about last night's 2-2 draw against the Wolves.
Of course we're going to win.
You're not going to win.
We are going to win.
You'll fold like you always do when it comes to money.
It's different this year. When you look at the squad, absolutely outrageous.
Other teams are really just not capitalising either. Like, we're not capitalising as much as we should do. We should be 12 points clear. You guys need to get your act together ASAP, immediately.
Will the dog be there while he's showing the stats?
What, win?
Yeah, will Win be there?
It gives us the massive opportunity to run away with it by the start of May.
That was our breakfast preview with Travis Perkins.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Get free next day track delivery. Head to travisperkins.co.uk or download the app.
Wayne Rooney has suggested Liverpool boss Arne Slot lacks aura. He says it's strange, isn't it, when you're talking about Slot being on an audition to keep his job, when he obviously has recently won the Premier League. I've met him a couple of times, but I just don't think for Liverpool he's got that aura. And maybe that's because Liverpool have just come off the back of Jurgen Klopp as manager. It's difficult for anyone, but I just don't think that aura is there about him. Has he got a lack of aura?
Well, I spent some time with him. I interviewed him for talkSPORT and spoke to him for a while before as well. I quite liked his presence and his calmness and his intelligence. I think Wayne's right if you're comparing him to Klopp. Klopp is an exuberant, charismatic, warm, humorous, larger-than-life character who captivated the whole city in many ways and brought it together over a period of time where it was struggling. So to follow him, I mean, is anybody out? I mean, nobody really you think could walk in and be what Klopp was. So I understand where he's coming from. He's kind of justified himself in his words, Wayne.
Yeah.
He's not Klopp, no. And also, irrelevant of his charisma, charm, or any of those traits, if he finishes outside the Champions League places and doesn't win it, he'll probably be gone.
It reminds me of the Kevin Bridges routine about self-esteem. I didn't get paid this week, but I've got plenty of self-esteem, and that's great. I mean,
it's a fair observation.
Arne, you haven't won a game in 5, but what an aura you've got. I mean, who cares, really?
It's a fair observation that Wayne makes, because I like expertise in these areas, and obviously Wayne showed no aura in his management career, so he'd be able to recognise it and lacking in someone else's.
Oh, Olivia, you can't tell us things like that. 6:52. talkSPORT breakfast. 03717223344. We've just had an exclusive there. Pep's going to be a hairdresser end of the season. Is the number to call Arsenal fans 03717223344. We've had plenty of calls already and they're flooding in and fans wanting to have their say. Proster's an Arsenal fan. He wants to have his say. Good morning, Proster.
Hello. I just want to get into it. I want to speak to Gabby first. He told us 2 weeks to find because we know our team has not done it yet.
Say it again, mate.
Now,
we didn't hear the first part. Sorry.
I said, I just want to get into it. This is why Arsenal for thinking last week, and you told us not to find.
I tell you what, get Proster back later, guys, because it keeps breaking up. It's
Making
not
such
fair.
a good point. What a shame.
Right, Olivia's here. Gabby, come on, you've asked for calls. The guys are calling.
I'm saying like he was making a good
No,
point.
you're not. No, you're taking the mickey. Olivia, good morning.
Never, Alan.
Good morning.
Good morning, Olivia.
I was excited to hear that Arsenal call.
No, Chelsea, great club.
We're going a bit off topic here. It is sort of topical because Ivan Toney's come out and done an interview very recently talking about how his dreams is to, play at a World Cup. We'll get onto him in a second. But just looking at Saudi football as a whole and the sorts of players that have gone there over the last few years. Now, John Duran, of course, went there in January last year. He left at 21 years old. And then 6 months later, he joined Fenerbahce. And 6 months later, he has now gone to Zenit. He's playing football in Zenit in Russia. He was booked on his first appearance, had to be pulled apart from a Krasnodar. It is. And this is what I mean, going at 21 years old. It just felt like the only reason that John Duran went there was
of course,
for money.
And his career's been strange, hasn't it? Started at Envigado in Colombia to Chicago Fire, MLS, Aston Villa, Al Nassr, Fenerbahce, Zenit. 6 clubs, 6 countries. And he's only 22.
What's the problem? What's the problem here?
Because you're a hothead. Managers can't work with you. Do you know what I mean? It was at Ronaldo's club, and Ronaldo probably felt like, what's this guy doing? Like, no, not here. Off you go. Fenerbahce.
He'd be going from city to city in his own private jet.
Oh, of course, yeah. Fenerbahce didn't work there.
Does he
Got rid of
care?
him. Zenit. Now, where's he go from there? I just think managers won't want to touch him. He's a great talent. Villa fans loved him because the goals that he scored, fantastic impact man. Yes, he might be rich. He might be absolutely loaded with the money he's on.
Now what?
What are you going to do with your
He
career?
might look, he's going to be very wealthy, but he might look back and say, if only I had.
He might be retired at 25.
No, exactly. But
Surprise you.
maybe that's what he wants. Maybe he doesn't like football. Olivia, just away from that, right? Away from Saudi. Now, don't look at me like that.
No, don't look at me like that, Al, please.
No.
What? I can't. I don't know why that.
Olivia, I'm going to talk about Chelsea going to Arsenal.
Oh, okay. Oh.
Yeah, we're talking football.
Well, yeah, fine.
So
That's exactly what I thought you were going to say, Al.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So why'd you keep stroking your hair?
I'm not. I play with my hair. I play with my hair a lot, Al.
So listen, big game. Arsenal go to North London, just down the old Seven Sisters, to Tottenham.
Yeah.
And then Chelsea. So 2 London derbies.
You bored of my Saudi chat, Al?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. I think most teams that now are playing Arsenal will probably have a little bit more hope than they perhaps did before. Spurs under Igor Tudor will probably be thinking the same thing now. They can host Arsenal and actually can maybe get something from that game, whereas maybe previously they couldn't. And if you were any team looking at Arsenal, you can get at them. You can get at them.
Get at them. That defence that we're all talking about, we've done great early on in the season. Look at them last night. You know, Wolves were terrible at times. They showed fight, but they were terrible attacking. And that second goal, you know, it just shows the nerves. Gabriel normally was coming head that away. Raya comes, punches it into Gabriel, finished the goal off. So I think Arsenal fans must be so nervous because the quadruple's there. But they could easily win 0.
What Emma said in the news, are they going to quadruple of seconds? Is it going to?
I said that yesterday. I had a funny feeling it was going to be a bit of a hiccup last night.
Really? Oh, I didn't.
I said that on air.
I just looked at that game and just thought.
And if you're Spurs, by the way, you've not beaten Arsenal in the league since 2022, when you had Son and Kane both scored in the game. Give your fans something, Spurs players.
And City,
what a chance to play them.
Newcastle, long journey back.
For Newcastle, yeah.
For Newcastle, yeah. I feel like maybe Newcastle, maybe a run in the Champions League is what they're... Exactly. I feel like in the Champions League, you sort of... Even if your form is a little bit inconsistent in the league, in the Champions League, if you turn up in a one-off game, which is what Newcastle can always do against any team, I mean, if they get through, which obviously they're pretty much through already, aren't they? Chelsea or Barcelona?
Yes.
For Newcastle. I don't know who I'd rather, because Chelsea can get PSG or Newcastle. I think I'd take...
PSG are now beginning to slowly come back.
It's what they did last season, isn't it? Yeah, they finished in the qualifying last season and then went on to win it. Can I
switch back to Arsenal quickly, by the way? Watching the game last night, Gyökeres looked like a lost soul out there. Yes, he can hold the ball up at times, but another poor performance. He looked quite happy to come off. He got subbed.
Yeah.
His record this season, 8 goals in the Premier League, 2 penalties, and he's only scored against Leeds, Forest, Burnley, Everton, and Sunderland. Talk about a flat track bully. That's what he is. And I'm sure he's going to come to the stage where Arsenal fans agree he's not that guy.
Well, I actually spoke to an Arsenal fan on a podcast a couple of days ago, and he said that they still need a striker. Yeah. So it's like, well, why? You know, when you think, look at the money they spent on Eze, and look at the money they spent on Gyökeres. Why not have spent that money on an Isak? I know, obviously, it hasn't gone as well for him at Liverpool, but strikers right now are really hard to find. Proper number 9s are really hard. There's not many of them out there, but it just feels like maybe that would have been a wiser way to spend the money.
It looks hard for him to sprint at times, Gyökeres. It's like, he can't get going.
I feel like he's. I thought maybe he was
Kevin Davis vibes at times. Bolton, Kevin Davis, like. Yeah, I think that's a problem for Arsenal. Gabriel Jesus, come on, he wasn't poor.
That's a name from the past. Where did that come from?
Remember him?
Yeah, I do.
I saw that.
Scored a lot of goals.
Yeah, he did score a lot of goals.
It wasn't a player that will go and play for Arsenal and win the league, will do.
But have a look at his goal record. Very good.
Okay. He scored 5 in the game, like you.
No.
Not many people have done that, have they?
Never, Al.
Okay, Olivia, thank you.
Never mind about the Saudi stuff. We'll do it another day, yeah?
Are you back with in 15 minutes?
Yeah, I am, yeah.
Good.
Olivia,
so.
tell me that wasn't your idea, was it?
What?
Saudi wasn't your idea? Nah, good.
I do what I'm told, Al. I do what I'm told.
Yeah, because I nearly fell asleep. 2 minutes to say.
many times, particularly in derby games, Alan, have we seen teams just roll up the sleeves and get another 10-15% or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
I think that's the very least the Tottenham fans can expect at the weekend, is a completely all-in, spirited performance. And you know, it's like 9 times out of 10 you get a reaction. A team will get a reaction to a new manager. That's obviously what the Tottenham fans can hope for.
Well, I guarantee you now they're not excited about this fella. But let's give him a chance. Here's Tudor speaking for the first time after being appointed.
Of course, I'm coming here knowing that situation is not easy. There's no time to find excuses. What I said from the first day here, each of us, each of players need to give something more, something extra. It's not enough to just be aware of that. I like to be positive. I like to play offensive football. Of course, that's my first goal I had, that I like to score the goal, but in the same way, for sure, need to give organization in defense. Okay, give the clear structure of the what you want to play.
I mean, that's another one you talk about. Obviously, Pereira getting the Forest job, gamble. This is a gamble.
Yeah,
because
I told you, Tony.
Well, they're in it, aren't they?
My friend Tony sent me his record, and it's
not great. It's not ideal, is it?
It's bad. I'm astonished he's got the job, to be honest.
Well, I know. I mean,
I'm astonished.
But the results, I mean, Tottenham, dear me, Alan. You think about Tottenham. Get rid of the manager after winning a European.
Would you give up the chance to play for your country to become a global star of your sport and earn big money doing it? Well, that's the choice facing rugby players right now because of the proposed new R360 League. Led by 2003 World Cup winner Mike Tindall, it's already being backed by major investors. Its goal? Turn Rugby Union into franchises, not clubs, add some serious cash and a bit of razzmatazz. Or in their words, make the game more watchable, accessible and entertaining, especially for younger audiences. But there's been a huge pushback, a massive no way from the current game. So what exactly is R360 and why is it controversial? Rugby Union is facing challenges on a domestic level right now. There's huge financial instability across even top-tier clubs. The English game has seen leading clubs like Wasps, London Irish and Worcester go out of business in the top flight. The Welsh provincial game is in total disarray too. R360 says they would remove what are easily some clubs' biggest expenses, i.e. the big stars, and therefore make more of them profitable. So the plan is to inject a new lease of life into the sport. But how exactly? Top stars of the men and women's game playing for a franchise-based league with fixtures in cities like London, Miami, Tokyo and Lisbon. Each city would host a tournament featuring all the franchises during a short 3-month season. And though no players have officially confirmed, reports suggest around 200 have signed pre-contracts, some worth up to 750 grand. And if that's the pre-contract, you can imagine where the full wages will get to. Problem is, the rest of rugby says no. In fact, no way. The national unions from England, Scotland, Ireland, France, Italy, South Africa, New Zealand and Australia have declared any player joining R360 will be banned from test selection. World Rugby's also not approved the league. Many fear it echoes football's failed European Super League, a top-down, money-driven idea that could damage the sport's traditions. So is it dead already? Well, Rugby Union is at a crossroads. Some may be against it, but we know others are being swayed by the cash. So will everything work itself out? Or after the European Super League and Live Golf, have we got sport's next big scandal on our hands?
7:05, talkSPORT. What are you laughing at? talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark. Browse the UK's best used car deals. Score your dream car today. Check out the website for more details. Gabby alongside me now. Now, are Arsenal set for a quadruple of finishing second in the Premier League?
The Arsenal! The Arsenal!
How dare you come out and say we're not favourites for the Premier League?
Because you ain't won it since 2004.
What does that even matter?
Who's going to beat us? We are the best squad assembled in the history of world club football.
Avengers!
Assemble. A team that could genuinely win the quadruple.
I want you to believe that they have, they have the strength, the quality to win the title. I'm so tired of it.
All spilled by the goalkeeper and driven in! Off the post and in! Would you believe it?
Arsenal, bottle jobs, they do it every season.
There was wind gusts up to 36 miles an hour. It was a swirling wind.
If I'm Mikel Arteta, I'm going to that training ground today. I'm showing him those stats.
Will the dog be there?
What, win?
Wolves 2, Arsenal 2.
Well, Arsenal 2-0 up and cruising via goals from Saka and Nikapi before a beautiful Bueno curler, and there was a cracker, and a shambolic mix-up led to a Calafiori own goal. Wolves, it's a shame own goal. Wolves up to 10 points. It means Arsenal now have failed to win from a leading position from 3 in the last 5 games. Let's waste no time. Bring in presenter, content creator, big Arsenal fan, Joe Bayer. Joe, good morning, Joe.
Good morning, Al. Good morning, Gabby.
Heavy shoulders working in there, Joe.
Yeah.
Heavy shoulders.
I've had better days, I would say. I didn't know what to wear this morning. I was confused.
I thought it was going to be a no-brainer when I looked. I was lying in bed, to be honest, looking at the scores. 2-0, I thought game over.
Yeah, no, I mean, within the first 5 minutes when Saka scores, it was so comfortable. I even forgot to message Gabby. I thought it was done. We've got it in the bag, but that shows what the Premier League is. But I must say, that's a good advertisement for the Premier League, though, isn't it?
Listen, I was speaking to a cab driver yesterday as a West Ham fan, and he said to me, we're looking at the Wolves game, that's a win. I says, when you're already down, that's when sometimes teams start playing. Do you know what I mean? So sort of relaxed, and Wolves will get a lot of points now before the end of the season against teams that think, we'll turn up against Wolves and we'll be half at it. Arsenal last night didn't do enough. The time waste at the end. Gyökeres poor again, looked like he was happy to come off. I just don't, Mad Wakey, like Breno had him in his pocket. I don't know, something's missing there at the moment, Joel.
Poor.
What do you think?
It's poor. Let's be honest with you. Usually I keep quiet, and I'm one of the most positive Arsenal fans. I'm sure. You've seen on my stories, but we look lost at the moment. I heard you reading out stats. 7 games, 4 draws, 2 wins, 1 loss against Manchester United out of all the teams. Gyökeres, I want to see the guy do well. I really do. But you pulled out the stats. The majority of these goals have been against Leeds. We need to be stepping it up, man. This is the time in the season where we got to step it up. Because if we don't, those noisy neighbours, United's noisy neighbours, are going to come and they're going to do the business. And we don't want that.
Do you know what? I was talking to Chris Hughton yesterday. And I remember Chrissy getting 2 against Arsenal, and I scored. Falco scored a beauty. We beat Arsenal 5 at White Hart Lane. Now that isn't happening. Well, it's not going to happen again, probably. But I was just thinking, if you're Tottenham's season has been abysmal. But what a chance here! What if you're a Tottenham, the new manager going in? If you're a Tottenham player, if you're a Tottenham fan, don't even think of not going. You have to go to this game. You have to put the boot into Arsenal here. If you're Spurs through and through, Joel, I'm sorry. This is giving Spurs, the mighty Spurs, a mighty incentive now.
First of all, I don't know why you're nodding the way you are, Gabby. You don't need to nod.
Sorry about it.
We could all hear. For the radio listeners listening, Gabby's nodding.
Sorry.
It spices it up.
Look, there is this whole manager bounce thing. I've been looking at Igor Tudor a little bit, and I know that he plays 3 at the back. But that, to me, that means that you're going to be, if we're doing our job, it's 5 at the back when we're attacking. We have to be able to break them down. There's nothing. We have to go there and win. We can't go there and draw.
No.
This is our season on the line. We got Spurs. That's
Chelsea
even before Chelsea.
But do you as well? I said earlier to Alan, do you say, like, manager says his piece maybe tomorrow when they're in, but do you as a team get together, lock the change room doors and say, listen, everyone's going to be saying you're going to bottle it. Everyone's going to say Arsenal can't win the big trophies. As a team and players, let's prove them wrong. Do you know what I mean? We've been poor, been on the poor run, but what a chance now to go and, like, beat Spurs and then all the critics back off a little bit. You can't feel sorry for yourself.
Gabby? What would you do, Gabby, if you was in that situation? You're locking the door and you're just screaming at everyone.
Yeah, everyone, like, come on, wake up. Gabriel, Rice, Saka, everyone speaking up and saying, guys, we're not doing it again.
Yeah.
Pep Guardiola's a bit smug and he's saying, we'll be there.
We're
not doing it again. That's what you should be saying.
We're not happy. We saw at the end there. We were watching for the listeners. Gabriel Jesus got frustrated at the end, pushed the player. Even our coaches, set piece coach, losing it a little bit because we know that right now it's on the line. Yes. And we need, normally I'm Mr. Calm, I'm Mr. Keep It Easy, banter here and there, but no, it's time.
Well, Mikel now, is this where, before kick-off 5 minutes, he locks the door. He says, don't you dare let yourselves down. Look around you. Player for player, we're different class to Tottenham. Do not blow it now. Get out there, concentrate, win your 50-50s and get our game going. Then we beat this mob. If the attitude is not 100%, you're in for a shock. Do not let me down and don't let your mate next to you down. He's got to do that. This is a big game.
If he doesn't do that, I'll be surprised. I'll be disappointed, heartbroken and shocked. We need the boys to galvanise together, man. This is the time. Because, honestly, I can't have this man on my right-hand side here, Gabby, at the end of the season, singing second again, ole, ole.
Say if you do finish second, what happens if the dog win? Does the dog stay?
Listen, mate.
Or does the dog go? Does the dog have more game time on the training pitch?
This is nothing to do with the dog. Leave win alone. The dog win at Arsenal training ground, for those of you who don't know. Everything we have at the training ground gears us up to win. But it doesn't matter how much writing we have. It doesn't matter how many, training sessions we have with scenarios.
Yeah.
This is where it counts,
I agree.
man.
Leave the dog alone. Get a cat and call it Almost.
Yeah.
Almost. You look at last season, though, Joel, and the last 13 games of the season, won 5, lost 2, drew 6 games. Are they going to do it again? Is it like the pressure comes now? And that second goal is like, that's not Arsenal, is it? You don't expect that from Arsenal. That sort of like miscommunication. And
one thing I want to say to everybody listening on the talkSPORT airwaves and watching on YouTube, listen, man, we're still 5 points clear. As much as we're disappointed, as much as we've squandered it a little bit, just a little bit, there's still time. You said it yourself, Al. It's a long season.
Oh,
man. Yeah. We've got players you're going to have players that are out of form, players that are going to come back into
more
form.
shocks to come as well.
More shocks
in Man City's hands now, though.
Yeah, well, no. They're 5 points behind. They've got a game in hand.
They win all their games. They win the league.
Yeah, but if we win all our games, we win the league. So what?
I'm just saying. Don't shoot the messenger, mate. I'm getting told in my ear.
You were saying that Villa were going to win the league a while ago. You're 8 points behind, mate.
We only spent 30 million in the summer, so we can't.
Well, that's not our fault.
You spent, what, 250, was it?
Mate, come on, man. Everybody knows that we're a very run, healthy club. We're doing our bit. You need to start doing yours.
I'm just speechless, Al, because this is a guy a couple of months ago who was chirping here. We're going to win it. What was it? April? Start of May. When are you going to win it now?
Oh, Piers.
Mid-May?
Listen, mate, we've all said things in life. We've all said things in life that we're not proud of. But all I'm saying is...
It could all change again, Joe.
It will.
It could all change again.
It will.
North London forever.
Are you there the weekend, Joe?
Yeah, I will be there. I'm expecting a good result.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming in, pal.
Thank you, Al. Thank you,
Joe
Gabby.
Bear there, presenter and Arsenal fan, coming up the greatest centre-back in Premier League history. This is a good debate. Gabby played against Terry, Vidic, Rio, and they tell us Nick's definitely who is the greatest centre-back in Premier League history.
Alex, let's finish with a player we know from his time here at Chelsea, who's been more recently ploughing his trade in Germany. Reports in Germany suggest Nicholas Jackson is expected to return to Chelsea this summer because he hasn't played enough games for Bayern Munich to trigger the obligation to buy clause in his loan agreement. What more have you got in this?
Yeah, do you know what? When this deal was done, everybody said what a great piece of business it was for Chelsea because the buy option was £56 million. I never saw a scenario where Bayern Munich were going to take that up because he's just not a £60 million player, is he? Nicholas Jackson. He's got 5 goals in 22 games. They don't want to keep him. He's going to be coming back to Stamford Bridge, but I don't see a scenario where he's reintegrated into the Chelsea first team. I think they will look to sell him in the summer, but probably will have to accept a much reduced fee. And it was always going to be difficult for him to go to a club like Bayern and force his way past one Harry Kane. So these loan deals with options, some of them are not really worth the paper they're written on. I've got the option to apply for a place in the Mr. Universe contest. I'm not going to do that either.
I think you're on the way.
I like that. Danny, when it comes down to it, you've got Nicholas Jackson or you've got Liam Delap. Who do you play?
Well, at the moment, with Delap's form, although I like him, Jackson in his first Chelsea season has done better than Delap has done. He's more of a goal threat.
Yeah.
I actually think Cole Palmer misses Nicholas Jackson a little bit.
Soon, aren't we? God, it's not long away.
It is coming home, mate.
Do you?
Yeah, mate.
What, early or?
Yeah. Quarterfinals.
Right, here we go. talkSPORT Breakfast with Gabby. Now, pubs in the UK have been given an extra time victory. During this summer's World Cup, ministers have agreed to allow pubs' closing times to be pushed back to 2 a.m. for any home nation matches beyond the group stage. I thought a lot of the pubs in the big cities were open late now, Gab.
I don't think so.
No?
I'm sure it's still, isn't that 11 o'clock? It's midnight at latest?
Don't know.
I'm not sure, but 2 o'clock will be needed with some of the late kickoffs.
Yeah. This week, How to Win the World Cup podcast that is now live and it's all about England fans and the media. Matt Ford, Lloyd Griffith sit down with journalist Henry Winter, who we heard earlier, to discuss whether the English football fans get a bad rap. Here's a little snippet.
You look at the front pages and you look at the starts of news bulletins and it's all about man's failure, about wars, about all the issues in the world. And then you go to a tournament and you see, actually, most people kind of want to get along.
Yes. That's, and I find that travelling with England is my limited experiences. It's really diverse. It's really happy. It's really all the things that we talk about. Welsh fans, Irish fans, Scots fans are also true of England.
There you go. Look, tune in and tell me it's very good. How to Win the World Cup podcast. Right, Gab, do England fans get a bad rap, or is it justified?
I think they do in recent years, of course.
For being rowdy, not so much fighting, is it? It's just been rowdy.
Yeah, but back in the day, you can say that. But in recent years, like, I think we've got really good Germany. I don't think there was many problems in Germany. I think it was other fan bases, and I'm sure everyone will behave themselves.
I hope so. Yeah. Right, 7:21. Let's say very good morning, L'Oreal. I'm worth it. Good morning, Olivia.
Good morning, Olivia.
Morning. Right, we are going to weigh in on this. Who is the greatest centre-back of all time? Now, just first of all, obviously on Sports Bar, Jamie O'Hara and Jermaine Pennant were having this chat about Virgil van Dijk versus John Terry and the former Chelsea captain.
Olivia, what would they know about centre-backs?
Well, should we find out? Let's find out. Let's see what they had to say.
Are you genuinely sitting here and saying that Van Dijk's better than John Terry? If you said you want John Terry or Virgil van Dijk, I'm having Virgil van Dijk all day. Are you joking? Are you joking? Are you having a laugh?
Yes, guys, I've just got back from working at Chelsea today and trying to mind my own business, but been sent this by over 100 various different people throughout the day. Jamie O'Hara, who had my back, by the way, and Jermaine Pennant on talkSPORT this afternoon, debating who was better, myself, Rio, Vidic or Virgil van Dijk. Now, guys, this is a debate that everyone's entitled to their opinion to. But, Pens, when you're on the radio and you're giving your opinion, you have to get the stats right. There's only one person that's got the most goals as a defender in Premier League history, and that's me. I also have the most clean sheets in Premier League history. And also, if you're comparing myself and Virgil, then I have more trophies than him as well. Also, you brought up a really good point. At the age of 34, 2014-15, I played every single minute of every game for Chelsea, winning the league in 2014-15 when Mourinho was our manager. So guys, this is over to you. I love the debate. I love being amongst it. I'm really proud of what I've done in the Premier League, but this is clearly over to you guys to settle the debate, but I'm just happy to be in and amongst it.
Well,
right, here we go.
You got to say it's JT.
Over Van Dijk?
That's brilliant. Yeah, you just heard what he said there, what he's achieved. Brilliant.
So I mean, just first of all, people are obviously when Jermaine Pennant came with his argument that Van Dijk was better, but with all the wrong stats, which is obviously not ideal. But you could make an argument like Jermaine was trying to, like Van Dijk aerially is probably better than JT, quicker than JT. But I suppose trophies do have to come into it, and what they've won.
Quicker, better than the I don't know. Quicker,
definitely.
Yeah, quicker.
But for you, why are you picking JT over Van Dijk?
What he's won, games he's played.
Clean sheets, most clean sheets in Premier League
longevity as well.
Yeah.
Let's not forget, JT was playing in the Chelsea first team at 19.
Yeah.
Van Dijk had to go to Celtic, then he had to go to Southampton before he finally made his way to Liverpool.
I watched Van Dijk at Celtic, and I sat in the crowd. I'll never forget it. And I went, "Who is this guy? He's different class. He's too good for here."
Yeah.
Right? And a guy next to me said, "Well, he does make the odd mistake." I said, "I don't care. He ain't here long. He's too good."
He didn't get his move to Liverpool until he was 26.
Brilliant it was.
When you're a striker, Al, were there any centre backs in your day that you didn't want to face, and what was the reason?
I played again. I've just scribbled down Alan Hansen, Mark Lawrence, and Phil Thompson when Liverpool were winning everything.
Yeah.
And they were really, really tough.
Why? Why were they so tough?
There was a great blend, a great mixture. Hansen read it brilliant, was much quicker than what people felt. Read the game brilliant, would bring the ball out of defence brilliantly, would never give it away. Lawrenson was tough, quick, snapped into tackles. And Tomo was he was always there. It was very rare. He was always there. And Hansen, I know, loved playing with Phil Thompson.
I think we have to as well think about, let's not forget JT as a player. Like, he had to ping left foot, right foot, ping out to the right back, ping out to the left back.
Do you think he's better on the ball than Van Dijk?
Yes.
He probably didn't look as elegant as Van Dijk.
Aesthetic, yeah, he wasn't as aesthetic.
But Al, like, I used to play against JT at Chelsea, and he just had that casual, all right, left side centre half, touch on his right foot, ping, left foot, no back lift, into Bosingo, whoever it was, at right back, Ferreira, whoever, Ivanovic. And also, JT, Rio were playing against the top strikers, not playing against Jokeres.
You think it's Kane and Haaland are the two Aguero, Van Dijk would have played against as well. But and the calibre of strikers back when John Terry was
Alan
playing.
Shearer, Michael Owen,
Thierry Henry.
Thierry Henry, like Van Persie, like all the top strikers they played against.
But that's been, look, you've not mentioned Rio.
So you played against Rio and JT.
Yes.
So I mean, all three of them into the mix.
Rio and JT, I can't choose between because Rio was unbelievably quick and he could bring the ball out from defence and he was doing step overs and so good on the ball. But then JT was like so clever. You know, when I tried to run him behind, JT like he literally gave himself a yard.
Yeah.
So he was already there.
He
knew how to play against quick strikers.
I tell you, he was a great player who was probably never 100% fit, but played.
Eddie King?
Paul McGrath.
Paul McGrath, yeah.
Paul McGrath. Yeah. Oh, he was lightning. But Ledley.
Ledley was very good.
I love Ledley.
So you're still putting Rio and JT above Virgil van Dijk?
Yes, I am. Because of longevity. 100%. They've done it for years.
Yeah.
Like how many league titles JT got? Was it 5?
Yeah, he's the most successful captain in Premier League history.
How many goals has he got as well?
41 Premier League goals, over 60
got?
Overall. Van Dijk's got 27.
Exactly.
And also like most clean sheets in Premier League history is John Terry. I think you have to take into, you can individual ability. Obviously, you take into account as well, but you have to then take into account clean sheets and
on the stats is John.
Yeah,
it's got to be. Got to be John.
But then you don't want to base it all on stats because we don't. You know what? For Liverpool fans, right? They do this thing where they Mo Salah against Hazard, it's stats. But as soon as it's Gerrard against Lampard, it's not stats.
Yes.
So you have to have a blend of them both. Stats obviously are important, but you can watch a player as well and decide
There's
whether.
an argument to say, is Van Dijk better than Kompany? Because I played against Vincent Kompany, and I'll tell you something. He was top, aggressive, quick. Great on the ball, scored important goals.
And in that time that Van Dijk was playing, that's when Kompany was winning consistent Premier League titles.
So for me, let's not recent bias here. It happens a lot with this younger generation. Don't remember John Terry maybe playing and don't remember Rio Ferdinand playing and Vincent Kompany. Let's not just go off like Van Dijk for me, fantastic defender. But if I'm choosing, because I played against those defenders, I'm choosing Rio, JT, and then probably Kompany before Van Dijk.
And can I just mention as well, when did when did the chunk ever get in the opposition 18-yard box?
Never got that weight off his back.
He's clearly going to stats because he wouldn't have got anywhere near them, would he?
Do you know what's funny is that a tweet resurfaced of Jamie O'Hara saying that Virgil van Dijk was the best centre-back he'd seen since... So now he's coming out.
God, he changed his mind, honestly.
Yeah, so I don't know what's happened, and Jamie O'Hara has changed his mind, but I like he's changed his mind.
But as well, I like the fact that JT's come out and
I love it.
in front of all these trophies and just got the record straight.
Sat there with his 5 Premier Leagues in the background.
Let's just relax here, guys. Like Van Dijk won Premier League, I've got 5. Let's stop the comparison there. But to be fair to Jermaine Pennant though, that topic probably wasn't planned.
Yeah, it was sprung on him. Yeah,
and he's just like, Van Dijk's got more Premier League goals.
But then you can't just say things because you think it. You can say like he's better aerially and he's quicker and he's got all of these abilities.
Don't say the goals,
but you can't say he's the highest scoring defender, and you can't say that JT was playing next to Ashley Cole and Branislav Ivanovic when they conceded 15 goals, whilst Ashley Cole was still playing for Arsenal at that time, and Branislav Ivanovic joined 2 years later as well. So you've got to be careful.
Where does I know it's early, but where does Tony Adams come in?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I didn't play against Tony Adams, but
it's popular,
obviously,
isn't it? Like recency, and like who you've played against and who you've watched. Al, you're probably best here to say because you've watched them all.
Yeah, well, Adams and Keown, they were. Oh, you wouldn't want to play against them, especially Martin. Martin was a lunatic.
Are they JT and Rio level?
Oh yeah, I think so. I do. I really do.
But do you think Van Dijk is that level as well, or just a level below?
Oh no. I think he is. Yeah. No. I think he is definite.
But you think JT is he the best ever?
Well, I think them stats tell you, and what he's won, and the games he's played, I think he is.
But let's also give Van Dijk the respect he deserves, because when he's been at it, players were still scared to even try and get past him.
They wouldn't. They
go
wouldn't
to the opposite side.
Yeah.
He would give players a yard start knowing I can catch you.
Yeah, catch you.
He would do that.
Not now.
Well, that's the thing. We're so used to Van Dijk defending the way he does, but this season it looks a little bit different to maybe what it has done previously. But for what he came in at Liverpool and like his peak is unbelievable,
of course.
but it's comparing it to players that have done it for a little bit longer. And
Olivia as well, what you got to take in, I think excuse me, is when I talk about Lawrenson, Hansen, or Phil Thompson Hansen, it wasn't just how good they were and how they read the game. It was who was just in front of them, soonest. People that snap you in two. Do you know what I mean? They're the way, when the ball was knocked up to you, you tried to hold it up. If your touch was wrong, you were getting battered. I mean, battered. Ronnie Whelan, soonest. Not so much Moby, but the great players. And they'd squeeze you, and if your touch wasn't perfect, you just lost the ball.
But you're spot on there, Al McGrath as well. That so many Villa fans say to me, they called him God for a reason.
I've seen him beat Jasper Olsen in sprints and training, and Jasper was a flyer. Big Paul would beat him.
Yeah,
and he probably had 3 hours sleep.
Well, I heard that as well. But Rio Ferdinand as well. Don't forget Rio Ferdinand. He was.
So
you're
right. JT and Rio.
JT and Rio. Then I'd go Company. Then I would go Van Dijk. Company was horrible.
Yeah.
You'd go for a head that he would scream down your ear, elbow you in the neck, and then win the ball. And you're like, okay, I'm going to go to the centre half now.
Yeah.
I'm scared for my life.
I'm going to go in the wing.
I did have to go in the wing. It was safer out there, Al. My mate Micah out there, but
okay,
some top defenders.
I think just to knock it in the head, I think JT, what he said there was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I'm giving it to him.
What's that? His pennant on the line, Jermaine? Right.
Yeah. Where is he?
And Jamie, keep trying to get into that 18-yard box. Give him 32.
I don't enjoy all what goes on. Of course I don't. Who does? I don't want to see none of that. I don't like all the ranting and raving. You know, John's obviously got a problem, him and Carl Frock, I don't know, you know, with the two of them, and it is what it is. But it's nothing to do with me. And I've got to be honest, you know, I have no regard for it. It's irrelevant to me. All I care about is what Tyson's doing and the fight. The rest of it's a sideshow.
You say that, Frank, but you are the promoter.
I'm not the promoter.
You're Tyson's promoter.
I'm Tyson's promoter, but I'm not the promoter of the event. It's a ring event. It's on, you know, I have an exclusive contract with DAZN. This fight's on, as you well know, it's on Netflix.
But if you're uncomfortable with it, Frank, might you not have a word with Tyson?
I don't understand. Sorry, but I'm not responsible for what people do or in their family members are in or are with them or whether that's down to them. It's nothing that I'm not responsible, nor would I take the responsibility for that. You know, it's no different if one of your relations starts ranting and raving and screaming and shouting. It's not down to you.
If it were an event that you were a promoter of note on, say, for example, you make the fight between the winner of Dubois versus Wardley.
It's not often you associate fan power with Chelsea Football Club, but one of the shining examples of it lies with a group called the Chelsea Pitch Owners. And they've proved to be the thorn in the side of owners past and present who've been dead set on moving stadiums to a larger, more lucrative piece of land. Essentially, the supporters group holds the freehold to the land on which Stamford Bridge sits. Former owner Ken Bates set it up at a time where some unruly property developers tried to evict the club from their ground. In order to prevent this, he established the CPO as a company that owned the pitch and offered the fans the chance to buy a share for £100. As well as that, they also own the rights to the name Chelsea Football Club, so if any owner wants to take them elsewhere, they can't be called Chelsea without the approval from the CPO. Now, in 2011, Roman Abramovich tried and failed to move them away from Stamford Bridge, and this has set a precedent for Todd Bowley and the current power brokers at Chelsea. They know any plan which involves moving from Stamford Bridge will require CPO approval from the now 13,000 fans who own it. There are fans who are concerned that if they stay at the Bridge, they'll be left behind their domestic and European rivals who are moving to more commercially successful stadiums. But for the heritage and history lovers, Stamford Bridge is one of the iconic English stadiums, and to move away would be a grave mistake. It might not be as flashy as others, but stadiums like it have something about them that cannot be replaced. One thing's for sure, if Bowley wants to take Chelsea away from their home, he'll have to go through the CPO first.
Minutes to 8 o'clock. Very, very good morning. Now, Vitor Pereira is another new man in the dugout, and will lead his side out for the first time tonight away. Fenerbahce, not easy. Fenerbahce live in talkSPORT 2 in the Europa League. However, sitting 17th in the table, only 3 points clear of safety, it's the league form that Pereira has been brought in to change. Let's bring in a man that have watched him closely at Wolves. A very good morning, Dave Edwards. Dave, morning.
Good morning, Dave.
Good morning, lads.
Dave, I think we need to start with the game last night. The whole country wants to say a big thank you to Wolves for pegging the Arsenal back. And Wolves have got it in them. And, you know, I'm pleased they've shown a bit of character, not bouncing back, but putting in a big performance and character 2-0 down to come back and draw.
Yeah, I was definitely worried early on in the game when Saka got that opening goal. It was a really poor goal to give away. But Arsenal weren't great in that first half. I thought that Wolves were there for the taking. They didn't take advantage, and then Wolves had a really spirited second half. And Rob knows how to set the team up and make it difficult for opposition, especially the teams at the top of the table. We really stifled Arsenal at their place earlier in the season. We've done the same with the likes of Liverpool. But it's just that the other end scoring the goals, and we managed to get 2 wonderful goals yesterday, which was nice, especially for young teenager Tomadozi. That was a really special moment for him. But just starting to build a little bit. We had that 0-0 draw at Forest, which obviously cost Sean Dyche his job. It wasn't a great performance, but it was a clean sheet. Then they had to show loads of character against Grimsby in the FA Cup, where we got ourselves through to the next round. But last night was probably one of the best nights of the season for the fans, and fair play to them, because it was a horrible night. The weather conditions were terrible, but they got to sing at the end.
Yeah, it looked like it, Dave. And watching the game, Dave, it seemed like a great atmosphere. The fans were up for it, you know, singing, getting to them. I can't repeat the next line that they were singing, but I felt like Breno had something about him as well. His goal was outstanding, but he had Madueke in his pocket. He was aggressive defensively. Mascara as well. Some of the tackles he was putting in on Martinelli. It seemed like the whole team just thought, you're not coming here and rolling us over. We're going to fight to the final whistle.
Yeah, they definitely grew into the game, Gabby. I thought they maybe were a little bit too passive in the first 15, 20 minutes, but you're right. They started to get hands on people, then they started to get close and make tackles, and Hugo Bueno epitomised that quite a few times in the second half in particular. Arsenal players were trying to get round him, little skills and things like that, but he would just get his foot in, he'd get his body in, he'd win the ball back. But the best thing about Hugo Bueno is the way then he would just take on up that left-hand side, and he wouldn't really look back. Sometimes it looked like he was going down blind alleys, but he's got such good feet. He loves a little step over, putting some really good crosses from that side. And when that goal did come for him. He's had a few moments like that this year where he's found himself on that right side, whether it's been a corner or a long throw-in or something, and then he's cutting on his left foot and he's nearly scored. Hasn't quite happened, but that was his first Premier League goal, so delighted for him because he has been a bright spark this season. Obviously, Rain Ain't Nori leaving has given him that opportunity, but he's come in and he's actually done really well.
Dave, what about, I'm intrigued with this North London derby now. You know, Tottenham are all over the place. Change the manager. I can't see it, but maybe I'm wrong. But they've changed the manager. He's now goes into a North London derby. Arsenal have to bounce back. And I'm just wondering, does he get into the Tottenham lads in the dressing room? Does he slam the door shut and say, right, this means everything? This changes everything to the fans who've been so disappointed. If we can turn this mob over. Does that still go on in football, Dave? You know, are managers still passionate, kicking players out on that pitch? Get out there. Treat the fans. Come on. Give them something to sing about and shout about. Does that happen these days?
Yeah, I still think it does. I think in these big derby matches, which the North London derby is, that he'll obviously have tactics and a strategy of how they want to combat Arsenal, but he'll definitely play on the fact that firstly Arsenal are in a bit of form where you can tell they're nervous, they're not free-flowing, they're just trying to grind out results, they don't really want to take too many risks. You've got to play on that emotion, but then also it being a derby match with the fans, there's going to be a different atmosphere, and you need to play on that as well. Whether that is slowing the game down when Arsenal fans are really engaged, or when Spurs fans are really engaged, really try and push the tempo at that point. Big tackles within the laws of the game, of course, but doing that really gives you that foothold in the game and momentum that you need. And when a new manager does come in, it's automatically a clean slate. The fans will be completely with them. Tottenham fans, I'm sure, in a North London derby, even if it was still Thomas Frank, would still be with the team from the first whistle. But this will definitely give them some added exuberance that they'll be right with it from the opening minute. And the Tottenham players have got to take that with them. This will be as good as it's been for a long time for them inside the stadium with their fans with them. And they've got to use that to their advantage, but definitely play on the fact that Arsenal will be nervous. The title race for the very first time is in both theirs and Man City's hands. If Man City win all their games, they win the league. So, yeah, they'll be very, very nervous.
Dave, I've got to ask you about Nottingham Forest bringing in their 100th manager this season. Vitor Pereira, you know him best, mate, as obviously he was Wolves manager. Won his first 2 games in charge, didn't he? And then also went on a 6-game winning run. What will Nottingham Forest fans expect from him, and do you think he'll keep them up?
I think he will do. I watched Wolves train a few times last year when he was there, watched all of their games, met him on a few occasions as well. He's a pragmatic manager. He's very, very similar to Nuno in the way he sets up, and I think that will suit Forest because of the players they have for that system. But they are a possession-based team as well. I know with Wolves it's a bit more difficult, but he'll look to play out the back. He'll look to draw the opposition onto them, and at times that can look very nerve-wracking if you're going to be a Nottingham Forest fan. But he's trying to get as many of the opposition players close to them so then they can exploit the gaps with the pace that they will have in the team. The likes of getting Morgan Gibbs-White on the half-turn with space to run into, Hudson-Odoi, players like that. So that's the type of football he'll play. Very organised without the ball. They won't necessarily go to look to press all over the pitch. They'll get back into their back 5 and a 3 in midfield or a box midfield in front of them and try and make the opposition play around them. And he had such a positive effect when he came to Wolves. And I think what happened in the summer with players leaving, you could just see his heart wasn't quite in it as much because he didn't get backed as much as what he wanted. And that obviously played out at the start of the season. And what you've seen happen to Wolves since, you can see that it wasn't all Vitor Pereira, although he didn't cover himself in glory. But that spell where he took over, I think his first game for Wolves was on just before Christmas in 2024, and had the most miraculous finish to the season, winning 6 games on the bounce, which Man United fans will tell you that's not easy. So he did that. We were bottom of the table when he came in. We finished well clear of the relegation zone, and he did a terrific job. So I think he could replicate that in Nottingham Forest with arguably better players than what he had then.
Dave, just a quickie on your boy Shrewsbury now. 2 great victories over Swindon and Notts County. We sneaked a couple of Brazilians in we don't know about in the transfer window.
We had one day in the transfer window, Alan. Yeah, we didn't get any Brazilians in, but we've had a really good reaction from the lads, and we had 3 home games this week, which we knew were going to be huge, and we managed to win them all. We got 9 points. Boys have really bought into it. The manager, Gavin Cowan, has been magnificent, and yeah, I'm there helping him out along with Jamie Haynes as well, and just trying to pull us further and further away from that relegation zone, because the club was in a bit of trouble when we walked in, and it's looking a little bit nicer, but the job's not done yet.
Good luck, Dave. Thank you. Dave
Edwards, guys. Thank you.
Shrewsbury. They are 2 big results, beating Notts County and Swindon.
Spot on, mate.
Right, coming up, former Newcastle and assistant manager John Carver. Thanks, Dave. John Carver coming up. He's doing really, really well over in Poland.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Doing what matters for the trade. Find your local branch at travisperkins.co.uk.
All right, let's go to Theo. He's a Liverpool fan. All right, Theo?
All right, Theo.
All right, lads. How are we doing?
All right, matey.
All right, Theo. Do you want to talk about Saka?
Well, I was sort of now you've brought it up. I was wanting to talk about the Vinicius Junior, Saka, and the sort of Van Dijk.
Okay. Go on.
You got a lot to talk about. We're off air at 1.
Come on.
I'll try.
Get your points across.
Okay. So first one, the Vinicius Junior one. I think the celebration's fine. I've seen much worse. It's football. This stuff happens. At the end of the day, the fact that the fact that people like Jose Mourinho and other people are saying that the celebration means that can kind of justify the racism and what happened after that, I think is outrageous and a little bit disgusting.
I think what you said though was talking about Eusebio, the greatest player, one of the greatest Portuguese players at the time, played for the club. I'm not sure he was defending it. I think he was saying that they're not racist because their best player was black.
But that's not really an excuse.
No, it's not.
No, of course not.
No, but I don't think he was defending it or excusing it.
When it comes to Saka, I'd say I wouldn't have him in the Liverpool squad. Well, not in this. I wouldn't have him in the starting 11.
Squad, does he? Well, you backtrack quickly there.
Well, no, because
does he get in your squad?
He'd get on the bench.
Whatever the weather. Even the weather was good last night. We had no excuses.
Good morning, 7:52. By the way, Gab, before I forget, the old championship's hotting up, isn't it?
Oh, yes, indeed. Big win for Coventry.
Was against Middlesbrough, but look at Millwall up
Millwall are flying now. Flying.
We've got to win the games in hand, Town.
If you're Millwall, you're probably saying, listen, it's not over for second place.
No,
First.
absolutely.
It's only 5 points.
Ipswich can win their 2 games in hand. They go 60 points, just 2 behind.
Wrexham.
Coventry 1 behind Borough.
Wrexham fighting for the top 6. Birmingham City.
Hull still up there. Wrexham's an incredible story.
I know. Imagine if they get top 6. And the bottom now, Leicester City. Ooh, lost
West
4
Brom,
of the last 5. West Brom, same. Not 1 in 5. Like, it's terrible.
Yeah, but can you imagine West Brom Division 1?
I know. I wouldn't mind it, but Al. But it happens. I'm sure they'll be fine.
So that means you should stick in TGI Fridays down the old Hagley Road.
Hagley Road.
Yeah.
Used to be a club opposite TGI's. Nightclub back in the day. Used to go there, Al. The old Sunday afternoons.
Did you?
Sunday afternoon club. Yep.
With who?
Some friends.
A chick.
A chick. No, I used to go with some friends. It's like a party.
Really?
Yeah. Good old days, mate.
The big fella?
Who?
It wasn't windy?
No, stop. He's not been the same with me since, you know.
Well, he's not a friend then, is he?
I know, but he's not been the same, mate. We haven't seen him since.
Really?
He's cut me off, mate.
Right, our attention now is Newcastle. They've cruised through the Champions League playoff. I didn't expect that last night.
Easy win.
Over in Baku, largely thanks to 4 goals from Anthony Gordon. Brilliant. There's a little squabble between Gordon and Trippier over who takes the second spot kick. John is now for more. Former Newcastle manager and long-term assistant boss John Carver joins us. Johnny, morning, John.
Good morning, guys. Alan, Gabby, how are you?
Good. Hey, John, that was a hell of a result for Newcastle, wasn't it?
You know what? It was incredible, and I think it's over. I think the tie's over, which is good for the club going forward because obviously they've got some big games coming up. But I was really surprised. I was expecting a lot more from the opposition, for sure. They've done really well to get to where they've got to. So I was expecting a tough tie, especially with a long travel. I mean, over 3,000 miles there and back, and it's a long way to go. So I was expecting it to be a lot tougher. And obviously they had a good result against Chelsea, Karabakh 2-2. So I was expecting a tough game, but you know what? We were so professional, and you know, we can talk about it. And Gabby, you know, Alan, you know how you can only play against the team that is put in front of you. And from that first whistle, we went at them. And listen, it could have been 10 by half time. Yes. The Polish goalkeeper, funny enough, was outstanding. He was almost the man of the match. But
I couldn't believe it, John. I couldn't believe it. But I was watching, mate, and I was just like, what's going on here? Like, have these guys played together before? It was... and they were getting through with ease, weren't they?
Yeah, it's interesting you're saying that because when it got to 2-0, I was thinking, surely the coach, the manager is going to change this. He's going to go to 5 at the back. And he did that in the second half, which made a big difference. And obviously Newcastle were playing in second gear in the second half. But that first half performance was as good as I've seen. Yes, the opposition were poor, but you know what? What I liked about them was they went for the jugular. They actually thought 1 goal, 2 goals. Let's get this tie finished. Put it to bed because we've got, like I say, we've got some big fixtures coming up. Big game against Man City away at the weekend. So and they did that. And like I say,
loads of runners, weren't there? It was like runners in behind.
And that's what they did.
Yep.
There was forward passes, there was forward runs. The system, obviously, they changed the system slightly where Walter Morty playing as a 10. They had Pierce in the front 3, and they gave them huge problems. And what I did like, I like Willock playing in midfield because he's got so much energy. He's got so much energy and drive, and Tunali just organising and keeping the ball moving and ticking. And it was a good performance. And like people say, don't criticise the opposition. Let's give Newcastle United lots of credit because of the professionalism.
As you say, big game of the weekend. Long journey back, but they take on City, who are buoyed with the fact that Arsenal dropped 2 points last night, John. I look at the table and I'm still baffled why Newcastle are halfway down at 10th.
I think we have to look at the away performance, and last night's away performance was excellent, and it has been in the Champions League. But our away performance has to be better, and obviously we've got Man City coming up, and we know what they're about. We've got them in the FA Cup as well, so I think it'll be 5 times this season we'll actually play Man City. So we know all about them; they know all about us. But you know what? Something like what happened last night. You know, I thought we would have took a few players off at half time, but we did it just after half time, just to give them a rest and get them ready for the game. But you know what? I think we can go to Man City and play with no fear, because if you think back to the cup tie and particularly the second half, we created chances, we created opportunities. I think if we go there with if we go there with the same energy, right, that we showed in the second half, and not fear them and not respect them too much, then why can't we go there and get a good result?
I think as well, John, we were just recently doing a show at Newcastle's ground and speaking to the CEO there. Like, Champions League football, it's a must season after season, isn't it? You know, because of the financial problems and stuff that clubs have now, like Newcastle and Villa. So 8 points, they need to try and get that down, and there's no reason why they can't go on a run and finish in the top 5.
Listen, we did it last year. We went on a run last year. But you know what? When you feed Champions League football to the supporters, they demand it year in, year out. And we went through that in the early 2000s with Sir Bobby. And it was important that you continually compete to try and get into the Champions League, because that's what football's all about. Listen, we're at a point, obviously, after last night, I'm assuming we're going to go into the last 16 and play the Chelsea or Barcelona. And that's what we want. That's the type of nights we want. And let me tell you, when you have nights like that, especially at St James's Park, it's electric. And we want that. And the fans deserve that, because you know what? They've stuck with them through thick and thin. And now we're having a little bit of a roll after last year winning the League Cup. It's important that we continue that success that we had last season. And they're in great hands with Eddie and his staff. You know, let's be honest, they've done a remarkable job. And I know Eddie was getting a little bit of stick recently, but you know what? Every team goes through a bad spell, and it's how you come out the other end. And I think we're coming out of it. I think we're actually putting our head above the water now, and I think we'll go on a little bit of a run, hopefully. I mean, we do have some really, really tough fixtures against Everton, Man City. We've got the derby coming up soon. We've got Chelsea. We've got Man United, who have hit a bit of form. So we've got some really, really tough games in the next 6 games. And like I say, after the result last night, maybe we can play in second or third gear against Carabao, because I didn't see anything that threatened me or frightened me for the second leg. So we might be able to look after 1 or 2 players, and there'll be 1 or 2 players coming back. Obviously, Joe Layton came back last.
John, who's... sorry, you just froze there, John. Sorry. John, I'm running out of time, but I just like to put yourself in the position of Mikel at Arsenal and Pep at City. Who's the most comfortable going into this game at the weekend? Would it be Pep, been there, done it? Mikel suddenly feeling a bit of pressure?
I think, if I'm being honest, you can see that Pep has done it. He's been there. He's got the T-shirt, as we say. Mikel looks like he's under a little bit of pressure. You can see that. You can see the players. I mean, he's got a fantastic squad. He's probably got a better squad at this moment in time, I think. But because when you've been in that position before and experienced it, it counts for an awful lot. And I think Pep has the advantage for sure. But hopefully we can go there and give Mikel a little bit of help.
Next one, John. Good luck with your dance over there. Won, was it 5 of the last 7 league games, so on a roll. John Carver there. Thank you, John. Take care. Have a good weekend coming up. Right, coming up, we'll get the Sport Nerds with Coral. Phil Parks and Wrexham manager. What a season they're having again. Brilliant. And we'll talk to Dave, the White Rhino Allen. 8 o'clock, news and headlines next.
Saka is now Arsenal's top earner as the England winner has signed a 5-year contract worth at least £78 million.
That's amazing, isn't it?
I mean, that
is amazing.
That's phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Jason Cundy was speaking in the sports bar last night and whether Saka's position on the right wing for England is in jeopardy.
But I think there's definitely an argument to be said that he, in a World Cup year, where I would say before he was a nailed-on, guaranteed 100% starter out wide right for Thomas Tuchel, I think there can be a conversation where there shouldn't be.
Do you believe it's a conversation up for debate? Well, Madueke, obviously, but Madueke's not on. Madueke's not the level of Saka.
No, he's not. But this season, I don't think you can say that Saka's not been the level of Saka.
No. Saka at the moment is the best of the wide bunch, definitely. No, you disagree.
No,
you do. I know you do.
I don't have a problem. I'm just saying it's not as straightforward as Jamie O'Hara thinks. I think Jason Cundy is well within his rights to bring it up.
Well, it's a long time of the World Cup.
Of course it is. And Saka has been and will continue to be fantastic. But what I'm saying is, I don't half enjoy watching Madueke when he's on it. I enjoy it. But as I said earlier, Al, what a lovely dilemma to have if you're Thomas Tuchel.
Yeah.
Great.
I've had a chance to talk to you about the extension of his contract. Don't think I did I?
Who, Cundy's?
Last week.
Football fans all have stadiums we love, but do any of us have a pitch that we love? It might sound like an odd question, but pitches can be different sizes with big consequences. Why is that? And what are the actual rules? Back when association football started, pitches could be up to 100 metres wide and 200 metres long. That's longer than Ellen Road. Not the pitch, the stadium. Anyway, UEFA wanted a standard across Europe for international matches, which became 105 metres long and 68 metres wide. But some clubs had been rebels, not intentionally, but because of the stadiums. Take Highbury, for example. It was 5 metres shorter and a metre narrower, meaning away sides had a challenge to adjust. White Hart Lane was exactly the same. And actually, when Spurs temporarily moved to Wembley, they asked the FA to shorten the pitch. The FA, very offended by the sacrilegious suggestion, said no, which in fairness could have actually benefited Tottenham because when they moved into their shiny new stadium, the pitch was exactly the same size as Wembley's. Today, Forest pitch at the City Ground is a big one. It's 2 metres wider than any other pitch in the Premier League. But the smallest of all, Craven Cottage, just 100 metres long and 65 wide. No excuse for not tracking your man. There are a couple of crazy outliers in Europe too. At Napoli's home ground, the Stadio Diego Armando Maradona, the pitch is a whopping 110 metres long. At least they don't play on a slope like Newcastle do. There's a 2-metre incline on the pitch at St James's Park. And don't get me started on the old pitch at Yeovil too. It used to be a slant of 2 metres corner to corner and across the halfway line. So UEFA have their standards. So do the FA, but they do give pitches in England some wiggle room. Pitches can be anywhere between 90 and 120 metres long and between 45 and 90 metres wide. I mean, the rules state you can't have a square pitch, but in theory you could have one that's 91 metres long and 90 wide. Imagine rocking up to play a Sunday League game and the pitch is basically a square. So there are rules and regulations on sizes, with a UEFA standard that roughly everyone follows. But as we all know, size doesn't matter, does it?
7 minutes past 8 o'clock. Excuse me, this little tickle I've got, Gab.
Yeah.
Everyone at my way in East Anglia's got it. It's horrible.
Why if you give it me?
I will do. There's no doubt
yeah.
about it. You're going to get it.
There's some time off then, aren't I?
Well, you said that, didn't you? You fancy a bit of Dominica or something, don't you?
Dominica. Bit of a Sandy Lane now. You give me a loan?
That would be nice.
Yeah, too expensive for me.
It came out my phone the other day. You know, you've all the pictures come
memories.
Yes. Lone Star Restaurant.
Oh,
beautiful. I could do it. Do me good to get out of there.
Yeah, you have to wait though
For a
till
week.
Jeff's back. You have to wait, mate. You can't both go away.
Where's Jeff gone? Does
I don't
anyone
know, mate. But you can't take holiday at the same time, apparently.
Really?
Mm.
Well, Jeff's. I think he's away for 7.
Poor Ollie. Throw him under the bus.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark, the UK's best used car deals. And score your dream car today. Check out the website for more details. Gabby here. Now, though, it's all about Arsenal this morning. Throwing away a 2-goal lead. Can you believe it? How does Mikel feel this morning waking up? The bottom of the table, Wolves. Brilliant from Wolves. Yeah, maybe it's too late, but it's shown a bit of character. Now, what does that mean? It gives Man City an extra yard in the title race. Boss Mikel was speaking to talkSPORT after the game and was asked what went wrong in that second half.
We felt almost everything went wrong. We didn't have any control. We gave the ball away time after time. It didn't have any periods really of dominance, even though they scored the second half. So, yeah, very disappointed, very frustrated. You can sense that. So now is not the moment to talk, because we are all too sensitive about it, and you're not going to get anything positive out of that. So the only thing that we have to do is be close to the players, lift them up, because on Sunday we have a big game coming up.
See, that's the bit of football I miss, Gab. I'd love to be in that Arsenal dressing room. You know, sort of, maybe not today, but Saturday, and then Sunday.
Yes.
I'd love to be in City's dressing room, listen to Pep. I've got a feeling Pep might be a little bit more calmer than Mikel.
Yes. And when does it come to the stage, if they lost to Spurs, say, where Mikel has to really lose it with them? I remember Martin O'Neill, Al. We were fighting for... We were fighting
they lose it now, though, Gab?
I'm just thinking about Martin back in the day, Al. 3 years in a row, we were fighting for top 4. And then we got to February, March, and we started losing games. And we ended up finishing top 6. I remember him coming in the change room after games, Al, and he used to call us cowards. You cowards. The lot of years. You don't want top 4, you cowards.
Listen,
all years.
I'm telling you now, Martin will be going through that at the moment.
Yeah.
Celtic, how they're getting away with it, I don't know. Late goals.
But do you think Mikel Arteta, if this carries on this form, needs to say to these players some harsh words?
Of course
do you
he
want
does.
to be remembered as the nearly team? Do you know what I mean? Do you want to be remembered as a team that bottled it every year? Or do you want to prove all your doubters wrong and go out there and go on a run now where you win every game to the end of the season and you're champions? It's down to you.
I think I think that's where Pep, with his experience and what he's won in the past, will be say, hey guys, we've got them on the run.
Yep, we've got them.
on the run.
Yep.
All we have to do now, guys,
win every game.
We don't slip up, right? When they come to Manchester, fine, we'll beat them.
Yep.
But we don't slip up anywhere else. This is it now.
Spot on.
There's no more excuses. Look around. We've got players coming back. We can't blow this now.
So many players coming back, Al.
The pressure's not on us, guys. The pressure is on Arsenal.
Doku, Savino still to come back. They've got Diaz now back. They've got Stones ready. I think Stones played in the FA Cup game on the weekend. Gahey, Stones, Diaz available. Kushinov, Aït-Nouri's back. They've got O'Reilly. They've got options all around the pitch now. Rodri's getting better every game as well. So you've got to say Manchester City. It'd be interesting to see the odds.
I wonder how Tottenham players are thinking before we go to the lines. What are they thinking? Are they thinking, oh, crikey, come on, let's get them out.
100%.
You think so?
100%. And Arsenal have had to play last night. Tough game, would have took a lot out of the players. Spurs have had 12 days off. They've had 5 days in the sun, some of the players. New manager, new ideas. It's time now. You've not beaten Arsenal in the Premier League since 2022. It's time for the Spurs fans to have some sort of joy against their rivals.
Okay, right. 03717223344. Let's head to the phone lines. Come on, Arsenal fans. Piers coming up at 9 o'clock. Gabby wants to chat to you. Fraser is an Arsenal fan. Fraser, very good morning.
Good morning, Fraser.
Hello, lads. How are you?
Very, very well, mate.
It's great for us, Fraser. This really, hots up now. What a weekend coming up.
I can't wait, honestly. It's so good when it's so close. Like, it just brings the best out in the Premier League. It really does.
Yeah. Absolutely.
What do you think of last night and Arsenal's recent form? Only 3 wins out of 8 in 2026 in the Premier League.
To be totally honest, mate, and we're going to go to the bottling it thing. I don't see Arsenal as bottled this league because at the beginning of the year, if you said to me who's going to win the league, I would have said Liverpool. I said I don't think Arsenal have bottled anything. At the beginning of the year, if you said to me who's the favourites to win the league, I would have said Liverpool.
No. Sorry, we're not doing this. We're not doing this, Arsenal fans. We're not changing your tune. You have been giving it the big one all season.
No.
You have,
not
mate.
All Arsenal fans are the same.
Yes,
not
you
all
have.
Arsenal fans. No, we're not all the same, mate. We're not all the same.
You've all been saying it. We've got the best squad. We've got 2 players for each position. Now the pressure's on.
I'm telling you right now, at the beginning of the year, if you asked me, who do you think is going to win the league? I would have said Liverpool or Man City. I wouldn't have said Arsenal. We're not, we get called bottlers every year, but then you've got to think that we're going to win it for us to bottle it, don't you?
Well, look, Fraser's got his views, Gab. Give him a break. What about Luke, an Arsenal fan? Luke, morning.
Good morning, Luke.
Morning. Any boys, all right?
Yeah, good, Luke. Look, is it just a blip, or are you now thinking, oh, not again?
Probably the latter one.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I hope it's not. I hope I'm wrong, but it just got that same flavour of it. It just seems to be the past 7 results not been too good. When they talk, I believe them, but then on the pitch, it just seems to be a different position. So I'm not quite sure what's going on, really.
What do you think of Fraser's comments, Luke, about, we weren't meant to be favourites anyway, and is that the attitude, really?
It's kind of hindsight, really, because during the league, we've been given the opportunity to win it. So. Yep. We've had the opportunity. Man City falling off, Liverpool falling off. So we've not really taken it with both hands. And now, obviously, City can win it if they win all their games. So it's looking a bit. I mean, it could go down to the last game. Who knows? But it's looking like. I mean, if you're second again, that'd be just horrible.
But you know what, Luke? That's the Premier for you. Bottom beats the top. You don't get that in Serie A. You don't get that around Europe, do you? That's the beauty of the Premier. But there's still a lot of points to play for Luke.
Keep your head up, Luke, mate.
Luke, thanks for calling. Thank you, mate. Right, can we take one more or not? Right, George, the Arsenal fan. George, morning.
Good morning, George.
Hello, guys. How you doing?
Good morning,
George,
mate. Very well.
Who are these Arsenal fans calling in saying they're not going to be watching the Tottenham game? We're 5 points clear at the top of the league.
We're flying, mate.
Well, I think we are.
You've got to watch it.
I mean, of course we got to watch it, and we're, people now saying it's in City's hands. You know whose else hands it's in? It's in our hands.
Yes.
If we go to City, we draw. Even we can beat them there. We're going to win the league. Wenger went through 3 years of coming second before becoming one of the greatest managers ever to win the league. Arteta's come twice, 3 years on the trot. This is our year. Let's stay positive.
Why is it your year, though?
What's everyone talking about?
Why is it your year?
Because we've got a manager, and yes, okay, people are going to say that he's got to change his style, but we've got a manager who's taken a team in Arsenal, a football club, who was coming quick, winning nothing. He's created a mentality in the club where we're top of the league with 12 games to go, and he's created a team with a second team, which I think will come about mid-table, probably even challenge for Europe. It's our year because we've got the players.
He spent nearly £1 billion. He spent nearly £1 billion on his team and won 1 FA Cup. So I don't understand.
But Gabby, we're 12 points. We're 12 games away from potentially winning the title. Of course, you can say we haven't won anything.
But
we haven't won anything.
Your
yet,
last 13 games last season,
year, we're going to win.
You only won 5 of your last 13 games last season. You're used to Manchester City chasing you down.
Gabby, we can live in the past or we can live in the present. Let's live in the present. Let's see the future for what it can be. And let's win these 12 games and prove everyone wrong.
You've only won 3 of your last 8 games. How are you going to win the
next one, George? I've got to move on. George, thank you.
Thank you, George.
From George. What is wrong with you?
What?
What is wrong with you? Well, I can't. Arsenal used to be your favourite side. Now you hate them.
My favourite side?
Yeah, when you were a kid.
I used to like Arsenal because Thierry Henry.
Yeah. Now you hate them.
I don't hate
Unbelievable.
them.
Unbelievable.
I'm just being
8-17.
honest. Al, come on.
These are my 3 big predictions this week. So first up, next Manchester United manager. Michael Carrick, he's been doing an amazing job to galvanise Manchester United players. 4 wins, 1 draw. And on the pitch, everything seems to be going well at Old Trafford. We've got Kobbie Mainoo back in the starting 11. Benjamin Šeško's looking good. Bruno Fernandes is just being Bruno Fernandes. So I can see why people want him to get the job. But for me, whilst he does understand the club, he understands the identity, I think I'd like to see a proven winner at the helm. Thomas Tuchel is out of the running. It would be difficult, I think, to bring in any other managers working at the World Cup. So I'm going to go with Luis Enrique. I think that he understands what it is to play for a big club, obviously ex-Real Madrid and Barcelona player, and what it is to manage a big club. He won the Champions League with Barcelona as a manager. And, with PSG, he transformed that PSG side. It was a group of ego-led expensive players, and he brought in hungry young players and turned them into a solid side. I'd like to see what he could do in the Premier League, so it feels like that's naturally the next step. But there is every chance that he might remain at PSG, so then I think that Carrick isn't a bad backup option, put it that way. Next up, I'm going with World Cup winner. And I'm going to be honest, I'm not sure if it's England. Spain, obviously, are contenders after winning Euro 2024. I think they fall short when it comes to their forwards. You've got Lamine Yamal. He can't do it all on his own, though, can he? He's got Nico Williams as well, who's dangerous. But I don't know if they have a quality player to go.
From the album Songs in the Key of Life.
Tune. Who is it again?
Stevie,
okay. Great tune.
talkSPORT Breakfast with Gabby. Can't beat a Stevie. Why are we playing it? Well, a video that's been doing the rounds on social media. Brentford defender Michael Chiodi and his partner had their baby gender reveal party on the pitch at the G-Tech. His famous long throw played a starring role with the goal frame covered from post to post with balloons. You'll be able to see this if you're watching on the YouTube or your smart TV. There you go. Gab, you ever done that? Done a gender reveal with your 10 of your kids?
No, but I get it. It's the way it goes now, isn't it? It's social media. A lot of the
I wouldn't be doing
people do it. Yeah, not for me.
I wouldn't be doing that one.
No, keep it private.
I was saying to my who was it? My youngest. Just the other day when I was playing in Switzerland at the end of my career.
Yes.
Near Zurich, Baden. And was playing the game. And there's only a few thousand there, but I could see them running around, going for ice creams and stuff. Running.
Your kids?
Yeah, the pair of Michelle and Lucy. It was lovely.
Lovely.
Just a little look, and they loved it. They had a great time.
But you're a great dad, mate. You've done a lot for your kids.
Well, I put the kids down at their mum a lot rather than me.
You took them skiing though, didn't you?
All over Europe. Yeah, absolutely.
Where else?
What do you mean, where else?
All over Europe. Switzerland, where else?
Australia.
Did they go to Australia?
Did they go to Australia?
It's quite far for kids to go.
No, they did, yeah. Australia and Switzerland. Yeah,
Okay.
lovely.
Amazing.
Where have you been lately? Alton Towers, Centre Parks.
They can't beat Centre Parks.
Right, let's get latest odds with Coral. Here he is, the Rochdale Cowboy. And who does he make favourites for the Premier? Here comes John.
The Coral Daily Download on talkSPORT with Coral. We're here for the fans this season. 18 plus, gambleaware.org.
John Hill joins us. Morning, John. Hey up.
Good morning, boys. Yeah, I've been listening to the chat all morning on the Premier League. Oh, what a throwaway points. 2 points they were for the Arsenal yesterday. And they're starting to think now, Arsenal fans, aren't they, boys? Is this going to happen again? Are we going to throw this away from here? Incredible.
No, it is. It's all of a sudden that blip, and you suddenly look, you think, and you think, what a weekend coming up here, John.
Well, is it a good time to back them, Arsenal, for the league now? Obviously, better odds.
Yeah, well, absolutely. Just like stock markets, I guess they always say buy the dip, don't they, in terms of stocks? But in terms of the betting now with Coral, Arsenal 8-13, City 11-8. It's in City's hands now. That's the key, isn't it, for Pep Guardiola signs? If they win out from here, including that game against the Arsenal at the Etihad Stadium, they win the title, and they've been here before, so they'll be certainly licking their lips after yesterday. But for the neutral, I think it's absolutely brilliant because 3 or 4 weeks ago, Gabby, we thought it was all over. Arsenal were 1-5, 1-6 in the betting. Yeah. We were saying the Championship's the league we want to be watching, but this is on again. It really is on, and I think we're in for a rollercoaster.
Well,
finish.
Let's have a wee bit of we've got to do a bit of Europe tonight. Forest, Celtic. How did they bet tonight?
Yeah. Well, I was just looking at this Forest game earlier. This is incredible, isn't it? They're on for their 4th manager of the season, Forest, tonight. Victor Pereira, obviously, taking charge. They've had that many managers. I can't even remember all 4 of them, I have to say. You have to think back, don't you? It's just been an incredible season for them. But they've changed again. They're obviously concerned about relegation, but they've still got this European competition to enjoy. So they're off to Turkey tonight. Fenerbahce, never an easy place to go for English sides. They're 9-4 out to come away with victory this evening. Fenerbahce 6-5. The draw 12-5 in this one. And then Celtic, your boys, back in the title race.
Parkhead, German opposition, great atmosphere tonight.
It should be absolutely rocking there at Celtic Park tonight. Celtic 11-5 to win this first leg. Stuttgart 23-20 favourites. The draw 13-5. And then just to cap off in the Conference League, Crystal Palace, who are actually 11-4 favourites to win this competition, don't forget. They're 1-3 to prevail tonight, and I'm not even going to bother to pronounce their opponents. I'm not going to embarrass myself this early in the morning, boys.
John, just give me a little looking ahead to the weekend. How do we bet Spurs against Arsenal, and of course Manchester? Excuse me, Man City at home. How do we bet? This is a massive pivotal point here in the season.
Yeah, it could well be, very much so. Yeah, and I'm surprised Arsenal are as short as they are. I have to say they're 1-2 favourites to prevail against Spurs, North London derby. That is a short price, I have to say. That has surprised me there. But
well, the record tells you against Spurs of late is brilliant.
Is it really? Right,
Yeah.
okay, fair enough. They've clearly factored that in there. Would I be backing them at 1-2, Arsenal? Not so sure.
I fancy a draw, me. I fancy a draw.
Yes, all over that.
Well, that's 16-5. City fans will be delighted with that, I'm sure. And then Spurs victory, that really would put the cat amongst the pigeons. That's available at 4-1 for Spurs to prevail. And then you mentioned City versus Newcastle, which will be 8 o'clock on Saturday night. So chance for City to get within 2 points of Arsenal before they play. They're 1-2 City to prevail. Newcastle 4-1 to cause an upset. The draw 7-2.
What about West Ham versus Bournemouth? Because that's a big game. And Forest, yes, tonight's a big game against Fenerbahce, but their bread and butter is the league. Tough game on Sunday against Liverpool.
Yeah.
So West Ham have got to take advantage.
And you know what, Gabby? I've seen enough from West Ham over the last few weeks to suggest they have got enough to stay up. They are very much
Somerville, Bowen, fans are on side.
They look to be fighting, don't they? They've got a real fight amongst them. They're picking up points again in games that you don't expect them to. So West Ham 7-5 favourites here to prevail. If they can get their home record right, West Ham, I think they'll stay up this season. I really do. Bournemouth 13-8. It's been a decent season again for Bournemouth, hasn't it? A little bit of a blip of recent weeks, but still in that top half of the table, which is fantastic for the Cherries. And then Forest, they're in action against Liverpool, as you say. They're 3-1. To beat Liverpool, Liverpool 4-5 favourites.
John, just a quickie. Constitution Hill. When will we hear?
Yes, he's in. Yes, it was.
He's got it.
You know, it was a big. He got in. He's declared. Yes, declared yesterday at 10 o'clock. There was obviously he needed horses to come out of the race to get in. Brilliant. But he's in. He's been drawn in Storm 12. Oisin Murphy will be on board. Great for racing. Great for Southwell. Obviously, an all-weather race course. There'll be a massive audience. Big crowd turning up. Even Simon Clare's heading across to Southwell tomorrow evening to see the great Constitution Hill. So, hopefully a good run from him. I think it's 7-4 to prevail tomorrow night. 3-1 to win the champion hurdle. Non-runner money back as well there. So, let's see. Let's hope for a positive performance.
And the mighty Dale, who have you got the weekend? You snowed off?
No, we're not. No, we drew 1 against Scunthorpe yesterday. So we need to pick ourselves up. What we got? We are at home to Woking tomorrow, so hopefully we can pick up 3 points there. But still top of the league, Al, so chance to get back in the Football League. It's not easy to get out of this National League, I have to say, but we're giving ourselves a good chance.
Nice one, John. Thank you, John Hill.
Cheers, boys.
That was look at the latest odds with Coral, 18+ gambleaware.org. Coming up, McCoy's pulled out a dream draw for Wrexham, who beat my boys Ipswich as they host Chelsea in the FA Cup. We'll find out how they're preparing for this one with manager Phil Parkinson.
The Coral Daily Download on talkSPORT with Coral. We're here for the fans this season. 18+ gambleaware.org.
Would you want an old rival as yours? And Liverpool fans, is there any chance that he could come back if Slot gets the bullet? Now, you were asking me whether or not I would have taken Klopp at Man United, and I said not in a million years. Yes. Let's speak to another Man United fan. He goes by the name of George. Hello, George. How are you?
Hello, George.
Yeah, hi. Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm good, man. How are you today?
Not too bad. Not too bad.
Good. What would you like to say, George?
I've been supporting United for 65 years, but do you cut off your nose to spite your face?
Mm-hmm.
You pose the question that if you can guarantee that within 2 years Klopp can win you the league, go for it. Why not? It'll get United back to winning ways.
Yeah, okay, but I mean there is no guarantee of that. But here's my question: would you take that gamble? That's my question.
Yeah, I would. Look at what we've done in the past few years. Look at all the managers that have come and gone. They've all proved done. You know he's a proven manager. If it wasn't for City, as much as Han United and against Liverpool, but if it wasn't for City, they would have won 3 or 4 more leagues.
Yes.
You know that. So that's a fact. I go by facts. The fact is that he's a very good manager. And you don't cut off your nose just to spite your face.
Spot on, George.
Why not?
Okay.
We need him.
George,
we need him.
George, thank you for that.
Well said, George.
With Klopp, I'm a little bit sort of like, I know he's a good manager.
Every spring, sports fans in Europe come together to celebrate arguably rugby's biggest annual tournament, the Six Nations. But why is it the home nations, plus France and Italy, and no one else? It all started back in 1871 when Scotland beat England in the very first international rugby match. A few years later, when they could field a team, Wales decided they'd host England and an idea was thought up. With Ireland keen, they formed the Home International Championship, which ran from 1883. In 1910, France was allowed to join, as they were developing into a serious rugby nation, and thus the Five Nations was born. France had an interesting history with the championship. They were actually booted out for paying their players in 1931, when the home nations were keen to keep it amateur. After World War II, though, France were let back in, but it remained a closed shop for more than 50 years. And when another country was let in, it was only really because the Five Nations hand had been forced. Italy was developing into a serious contender, beating Scotland, France and Ireland twice in the same year, meaning in 1999 officials got together and said yes to Italy, and it became the Six Nations. So what changes, if any, come next? 7 nations? 8? A promotion and relegation system? Or should we leave it alone and let it remain the great rugby tradition it's become?
This is talkSPORT Breakfast with me, Brazil Gabby and Arnold Clark. With over 20,000 used cars online to choose from, 20,000. They'll have the car for you. 03717 223344. Let's take a quick call. Arsenal fans, Gabby can't get enough of speaking to you. He's revelling in this morning. Good morning, Andy.
Good morning, Andrew.
Morning, chaps. How you doing? Okay.
We're good, Andy. How are you feeling?
Oh, sorry, Andy. Sorry.
I'm fuming, absolutely fuming, and I'll tell you why, chaps, right? I've been home and away with Arsenal. I remember the glory days. We've gone through some tough periods. Dark arts have to stop. Ridiculous. It's not football. There's nothing dark about it. Everyone knows about it. Yeah, when Trossard went down, I said to my mate, we're going to blow this. Yeah, play football. Pass it around. Take it to the opposition's corner. Yeah, but dark arts has to stop. It's ridiculous. It's not football. Yeah, it's in a comedy club. It's not a circus. Yeah, it just has to stop. And it comes from Arteta. Yeah, like there's no need for it. It's not sportsmanship anyway. It's ridiculous. I'm fuming about it. Absolutely fuming.
Are you worried about the form? Three wins out of 8 Premier League games this year?
Well, of course. You know what I mean? Form stands up, doesn't it? You need to be winning, and it's never good when we draw to teams like Nottingham Forest and Wolves, and you know what I mean? It's never good. And we're going to Tottenham. I think we'll look. I do still think we're going to win the league, but I think over season, yeah, I really do. I think once the Champions League starts fully, I think City will get stretched.
Isn't history repeating itself with Arsenal?
Of course it is.
Throwing it away.
Of course it is. But this squad, I'd like to think, is different to previous times. I mean, they're a bit more experienced, but you are right. If history repeats itself, it's on Arteta. One thing you keep saying is, you spent £1 billion, spent this, spent that. That's just a modern game, mate. Yeah, Man City have spent it for years, Chelsea have spent it for years, Liverpool spent it for years. I'm less worried about the money spent.
Yeah, they've spent it, but they've got trophies to back it.
Yeah, I hear you. And I still think the cup competitions, I think we'll blow. But the league, I think we'll deliver.
And it can all change back, mate. Look, you're in four. It can all change
Keep
back.
your head up, mate.
Yeah, and Arsenal fans have got to be positive here. They have to be. Right, the Premier League title race. It might be hot enough, but down the Championship, the race for promotion, well, look at the table. It's at fever pitch. Millwall, Ipswich, Hull are sitting inside the top 6 comfortably, but just outside on goal difference lay Wrexham, who are enjoying another Hollywood-style season. Brilliant. So along with the promotion push, Wrexham are also in the 5th round of the FA Cup. Here's owner of Wrexham, Ryan Reynolds, watching the draw with his Hollywood mate Hugh Jackman as the Red Dragons, they drew Chelsea.
Number 7. Oh!
Chelsea.
Wrexham will hold Chelsea.
Oh!
Wait. We're home with Chelsea.
Ah! That's what you wanted.
Ah! Yes!
Oh.
That is what you wanted. What the
Brilliant. Hugh Jackman said, the greatest show ever. Did you watch that?
No.
Brilliant. Barnum. Oh, fantastic. Chelsea home in the 5th round. It doesn't get much better than that for Wrexham manager Phil Parkinson, who has done an incredible job. Delighted to say Phil joins us now. Phil, morning.
Good morning, Phil.
Good morning, gents.
Phil, this is magic. Are you taking it all in, or is there still a lot of hard work to do?
Well, listen, there's always hard work to do, but I think you've got to enjoy it as well. And I think as you get more experience as a manager, you try and reflect and enjoy the games as they come, because it's very special for us to be competing in the Championship, and obviously now with a cup draw, it's another magical moment for us, and it's a tie we can look forward to.
How was the Ipswich game? Was it a tough fought affair? Because you got them there in the Championship coming up soon as well, but you knocked Ipswich out.
Yeah, obviously when the cup draw came out, we knew that we'd be playing them twice in 7-8 days, and yeah, first job done, getting through in the cup. Obviously tight game, they were a good side, and as expected, separated on detail, and now we're ready for them on Saturday in the league.
Phil, does it make it easier for you that there's so much attention on the owners? Does it sort of allow you to focus on your job without, the interference?
Yeah, I mean, listen, that's what I do anyway, just concentrate on the job day to day. And I think the lads and the staff have done that well. There's a lot of exposure and expectation on the club, but we've had a real focus in terms of standards in training and producing performances week in, week out. And that's what we've got to continue to do.
The guys must be pinching themselves now and again, saying, this is just a remarkable journey.
Yeah, I think, 4 years ago, being in the National League to now be Championship is fantastic for us. But we're not getting carried away with that. A lot of hard work's gone on, as you can imagine, gents, and continues to go on. It's not just about the first team. It's about a structure being put in place for the club to be sustainable for many years to come. The academy has been now going for a couple of years, and that's getting stronger all the time. And so there's lots of work going on behind the scenes which people don't see. But we're trying to build a football club, and obviously the owners came in and start from a very low base with the club being in the National League for 15 years and had a lot of financial difficulties, a lot of problems. And we're building, and it's great to be a part of it.
And the cup is icing on the cake, isn't it? Chelsea coming up, they'll make some changes, but lovely. I'm just looking at the Championship. God, right, it's so tight. Coventry, we know, are a good side. Frank doing a great job. They beat Borough. And Millwall, what about them, Phil? Millwall up there, Ipswich, Hull, Derby yourselves, Preston, Bristol City. It's going to go to the last game, I reckon, in terms of playoffs.
Yeah, well, the list goes on. I mean, there's teams in the bottom half of the table will be still thinking they've got a chance of the playoffs because it is so tight, and that's the division. It's very, very tight. All the games, 2-1s, draws, 1-0s, very, very tight affairs. And yeah, it's very exciting though. It's great to be a part of it. It really is. And it's all to play for with 14 games to go.
Phil, I have to ask you. I mean, it's been fantastic, hasn't it? 3 promotions in a row. Big chance.
Don't be negative.
Big chance of getting in the playoffs. No, I just wanted to ask you, when you took over in the National League, what did you genuinely believe could happen at the club, and have you exceeded expectations?
Yeah, I think, well, obviously when I came in and met the owners and listened to their plans for the club on and off the pitch, obviously it was very exciting to come on board, but you never know in football. It was my first taste of being in the National League, and getting to know the division took a bit of time. But equally, I think everybody from the outside could see the reasons Rob and Ryan bought Wrexham, because of the huge potential and the history of the club. So, it was a bit like when I went into Bradford many years ago, and they were down the bottom of Division 2, and it was like, wow, we could get Bradford going, great fan base, etc. And Wrexham's similar. It's the only league club in the north of Wales, and we've got a huge catchment area, and that's not just for supporters, but that's hopefully to attract some good young players.
Yeah, which is very important. Phil, what sort of crowd do you get against Ipswich? Because they'll bring a couple of thousand at least, won't they?
Yeah, well, because one of the stands is obviously being redeveloped at the moment. The capacity is only 10,000, so right. The away fans only get 1,200 tickets anyway, whether it's the Cup or the League. So I think there's a lot of demand from both sets of supporters. Well, there is for every game here, but certainly for a game like Ipswich, and obviously with Chelsea coming up.
Phil, we wish you well, mate, in the Cup and in the Championship.
Yes, good luck, mate.
Great job, well done, thank you.
Thank you very much, gents. Cheers.
Pleasure. Right, still to come. That's good. What a story that is, isn't it?
Unbelievable.
It's magic. Still to come on breakfast.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Benchmarks Kitchens and Joinery. Get trade prices on kitchens to suit all styles and budgets at Benchmarks.
Arsenal, I've seen enough. We are going to win the league. I wouldn't be surprised if we win it by mid-March.
Get him on here. Where is he?
Broadcaster and huge Arsenal fan Piers Morgan will be with us in around 15 minutes' time. Will it be a bit more humble this time?
Hope so.
No chance. Don't miss it. That was our breakfast preview. Our good friends at Travis Perkins Hire.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. With 250 hire branches nationwide, it's easy to hire at Travis Perkins.
Wayne Rooney has suggested Liverpool boss Arne Slot lacks aura. He says it's strange, isn't it, when you're talking about Slot being on an audition to keep his job, when he obviously has recently won the Premier League. I've met him a couple of times, but I just don't think for Liverpool he's got that aura. And maybe that's because Liverpool have just come off the back of Jurgen Klopp as manager. It's difficult for anyone, but I just don't think that aura is there about him. Has he got a lack of aura?
Well, I spent some time with him. I interviewed him for talkSPORT and spoke to him for a while before as well. I quite liked his presence and his calmness and his intelligence. I think Wayne's right if you're comparing him to Klopp. Klopp is an exuberant, charismatic, warm, humorous, larger-than-life character who captivated the whole city in many ways and brought it together over a period of time where it was struggling. So to follow him, I mean, is anybody out? I mean, nobody really you think could walk in and be what Klopp was. So I understand where he's coming from. He's kind of justified himself in his words, Wayne.
Yeah.
He's not Klopp, no. And also, irrelevant of his charisma, charm, or any of those traits, if he finishes outside the Champions League places and doesn't win it,
Yeah.
He'll probably be gone.
It reminds me of the Kevin Bridges routine about self-esteem. No, I didn't get paid this week, but I've got plenty of self-esteem, and that's great. I mean,
It's a fair observation.
Arna, you haven't won a game in 5, but what an aura you've got. I mean, who cares, really?
It's a fair observation that Wayne makes, because I like expertise in these areas, and obviously Wayne showed no aura in his management career, so he'd be able to recognise it and lacking in someone else's.
Sitting here with that t-shirt on, I'm freezing.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
It's warm in here, mate.
Honestly. I'm like an ice cube, you're like an orange.
Well, the heating's on for you now, mate.
Good. talkSPORT breakfast, Gabby's alongside me. Don't forget, Piers will be with us at 9 o'clock. Piers Morgan. He has told us before they will win the title by March, and they have the best squad in club football history. Gabby, if Arsenal don't win the title, will it be the biggest bottle jobs in football history? I don't think. I wouldn't go as far to say that.
Do you know why it isn't, Al? Because they've been here before. In 2022-2023 season, they spent 248 days in first place, 90% of the campaign, and they lost. 2023-2024 season, 76 days in first place.
You love a stat, you do.
This season, Al, their peak point lead has been 9 points. The current lead is 4 points. So it could happen again, but I think they've had worse crumbles, to be honest.
Okay, time to talk boxing. Don't forget Piers Morgan coming up at 9. We'll talk boxing, though. It's been an explosive couple of weeks outside the ring, especially when it comes to the heavyweights.
You lost those fights, and you saying that someone like Fury cheated you in those fights is kind of disappointing to me
You can say
about
what
you
you
because
want. I know the truth. I have the facts.
Okay.
Understand that. Because when the documentary and everything that started come out, I'm going to show everything.
Fantastic.
I'm going to get all the people that know and all the people that's in the inside. He got people that the inside of him.
I came back for one reason only, and that's to make boxing great again. Since I retired for the 5th time over a year ago, boxing for me has gone on a downward slope. It's become quite boring, and boxing is at its maximum potential when Tyson Fury is actively fighting. And I didn't say that. An AI, the cleverest AI on earth, said that, ChatGPT.
Got plenty to say about John Fury. Where are you? Put some respect on the name of John Fury and get that Carl Froch here.
He's shouting Carl Froch, so he's shouting my name
He knows exactly where I am because he's just seen me. I've got nowhere to go because I'm in the studio, and when you're in on that platform, you've got nowhere to run. So I thought, listen, if it comes on top and he comes for me, then I'm going to have to just do what they call a preemptive strike, volley him down the stairs, iron him out, and easy work for the Cobra.
Iron him out.
He does.
What a lion. Iron him out.
Do you know what? He does look a big thug, John, doesn't he?
Yeah, but it's just, Al, it's just...
He looks like one of them guys walking along Torremolinos Beach with the baggy shorts and the vest on. You know what I mean? With a pint in his hand.
Yes, but I just didn't like the way he was so loud and so... It's Tyson Fury's press conference for his return, and you're trying to take centre stage, and you know for a fact, if that fight ever happens, Carl Froch wins that in probably 10 seconds.
Yeah.
No,
absolutely. On. Yeah, no, absolutely. But what's Tyson letting his old man be there for? Because you know that's what's going to happen.
Can you stop him?
Yeah.
Is he embarrassed by him?
I just say, Dad, you're not coming.
Yeah, and he's just shouting out to Lennox Lewis, one of the best ever heavyweight boxers. But he's shouting out, I didn't hide from you, did I, Lennox? I didn't hide from you. And I'm just like, come on, stop. Carl Froch is doing his big gig on Netflix, Al. Big one. You're not going to get involved with that, like he says. You're not going to even rise to
I like Carl, and that was, I said yesterday, that fight at Wembley against Groves was a belter.
Unbelievable, yes.
Anyway, that's how a dramatic couple of weeks has played out in the world of boxing. As always, talkSPORT on our boxing YouTube channel have been right across the lot. It's time now to talk about some actual fighting. One of our very favourites is back in action this Saturday. Dave, the White Rhino, Dave Allen faces up to Karim Beredim in Nottingham as he bids to climb back up the heavyweight ladder, live on DAZN. Delighted to say, hopefully he's out of bed, is the Doncaster de la Hoya, who joins the show now. Dave, good morning. Are you
Morning, Dave.
Morning, Alan. How you doing? Gabby, you all right, mate?
You're right, mate.
Oh, he's been out for a run unless the heating's broke.
Nah, I've been up about 3 hours. Yeah, I'm the consummate pro these days.
How are you feeling, pal? Are you feeling good?
Yeah, I feel good. Looking forward to Saturday. It's a step down in competition from the last fight, so looking forward to it. You know, it give me a chance to show my ability more. You know, down at this level. You know, the last fight was a big step up for me, so hopefully come back with a win and set up another big fight.
What about your opponent, Dave? What are you expecting from him?
I don't know much about him really. You know, he's not a world beater. I was contracted to a comeback fight, an 8-round comeback fight. That's what it is. I decided to take that option. The last 12 months, I've been in not the away corner, but I've been the underdog in my last 3 fights: the 2 Fisher fights and the Makhmudov fight. So yeah, I decided to take the comeback option, get a win. You know, have a bit of a run out. You know, try and be more consistent in the gym, which I have been. So hopefully, I get this guy out of the way. You know, there's no gimmies in this game, especially at heavyweight boxing. But it's one I should be winning and doing in good fashion.
Dave, what about, okay, all goes well, you beat this guy. What about up-and-coming young heavyweights from the UK? Any in particular you're thinking, yeah, he'd do next?
I'm open to boxing anybody, absolutely anybody. The British title I'd like to win. I'd like to win a meaningful title. I won the WBA Intercontinental, whatever it was I won. It was nice to win. It looks nice in my house. But I'd like to win something meaningful, British, Commonwealth, European. So this year's all about trying to win one of them or get a meaningful win. You know, I've got a few good wins on my record, but before I'm done, I want to look back one day and people remember me as the British heavyweight champion or the European heavyweight champion. Or I was the guy who beat a guy that was very good. I want to be remembered as a good fighter more than anything else.
Yeah. Go on, Gab.
Dave, remember speaking to you after the Makhmudov fight, and you were probably a bit disappointed on how you performed, and you said you could have done a lot better. Do you see Tyson Fury having any issues in that fight?
For me, the issues in that fight for Tyson will be from his age, inactivity, not necessarily Makhmudov. I saw Tyson at the press conference. I think he likened me to a garden pond. I think Tyson said he was the ocean. So, yeah, I've seen that. I know you couldn't disagree. He was heavyweight champion of the world. You know, I've been a good fighter for a few years now, but obviously there's a few levels between us. So Tyson should be too good for him, but age, inactivity, them things can catch up on you. And Matbadov certainly can punch. So there is an air of there's a lot of danger in the fight, but it's one Tyson should win.
Dave, now talking about Tyson's old man, his dad. Can't Tyson just say, John, Dad, please stay away. You know, listen, I love him a bit, it's a big fella, but he's getting a bit too much, to be honest.
I've known John since I was a kid. I was also trained by Peter, Tyson's uncle. So I was over there. I actually lived with Tyson for a short space of time. I would consider myself a friend of Tyson and John's. And so I have a lot of respect for John. He's my elder, and he's someone that was very good to me, and I'll never forget that. That doesn't mean I condone his behaviour, though, at times.
Yeah.
So for me, boxing is about the boxers, you know. Mm-hmm. It's not about parents. The promoters should promote. The trainers should train. The managers should manage. The parents should parent. And the boxers should box. It should be all about the boxers. We're the ones who get in the ring. We're the ones who do the fighting. The attention, everything. It should be about the fighters. Everyone else, take a back step and let the fighters get the praise, get the attention, because we're the ones who are putting it on the line.
Spot on, mate. Also, Dave, Tyson Fury has said that he's going to train himself, isn't going to have a nutritionist. Do you believe him, for one? And also, if someone was going to train him, who would you think would be the right person?
I think there will be some truth in that. I think he probably will be in charge of his camp. I think there will be a head trainer there. There will be someone in that position. Whether Tyson will listen to him is a different question. Tyson's been heavyweight champion of the world. He's boxed for 30 years. He knows the game inside out. He knows how to run a training camp. But for me, I'm in the same boat myself. I'm at a point now where Jamie Moore's my head coach, but a lot of the time, I've been doing this forever. I kind of know what I need to do to get fit. And, you know, at times with sparring and pad work and little bits and pieces, that's Jamie's part. But everything else, I know I've got to run. I know I've got to hit the bag. I know I've got to jump the bar. So there'll be a little bit of that. But there will be a head coach. In terms of who that'll be, I'm not too sure. You know, he's worked with a lot of coaches over the years. I think, I don't know. For me personally, I think Dominic Ingle would be a good call for him.
Dave, why not just skip the running and just go in there, bang, 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 go for a two round knockout, stuff the running.
Yeah, I've tried that before, Alan. I've tried that one before a few times. It never really pays off, to be honest.
Dave, good luck to you,
pal. Man, Dave, good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Cheers,
much.
Dave. Good luck. Oh, brilliant. He knows his level, doesn't he?
But he's entertaining.
Yeah.
He knows what level he can box at and still put on a show. He's big on, I want to put the show on for the fans, and the public love watching him fight.
Right, a reminder for all our fight fans, the latest edition of Talk Boxing is now live over on the talkSPORT Boxing YouTube channel. Piers Morgan coming next, one or two you'd like to knock him out. Gabby is fired up. This will be explosive. Don't miss it.
Many times, particularly in derby games, Alan, have we seen teams just roll up the sleeves and get another 10-15% or whatever it may be, I think that's the very least the Tottenham fans can expect at the weekend, is a completely all-in, spirited performance. And you know what it's like, 9 times out of 10 you get a reaction, a team will get a reaction to a new manager. That's obviously what the Tottenham fans can hope for.
Well, I guarantee you now they're not excited about this fella, but let's give him a chance. Here's Tudor speaking for the first time after being appointed.
Of course, I'm coming here knowing that situation is not easy. There is no time to find excuses. What I said from the first day here, each of us, each of players need to give something more, something extra. It's not enough to just be aware of that. I like to be positive. I like to play offensive football. Of course, that's my first goal I have, that I like to score the goal, but in the same way, for sure, need to give organization in defense. Okay, give the clear structure of the what you want to play.
I mean, that's another one you talk about. Obviously, Pereira getting the Forest job, gamble. He's a gamble.
Yeah,
because
I told you, Tony.
Well, they're in it, aren't they?
My friend Tony sent me his record, and it's
not great. It's not ideal, is it?
It's bad. I'm astonished he's got the job, to be honest.
Well, I know. I mean,
I'm astonished.
But the results, I mean, Tottenham, dear me, Alan. You think about Tottenham. Get rid of the manager after winning a Euro.
What football ground are you thinking of when someone says this?
Really tough place to go. Difficult place to go. Such a tough place to go.
It's a tough place to go at the moment.
It was a really difficult place to go, always.
But what are the toughest places to go, really? We've scoured the planet to find out. Forget a cold, wet Tuesday night in Stoke. Try playing in a blizzard 220 miles inside the Arctic Circle at the world's northernmost professional club. When Chelsea lost at Tromsø in Norway in the 97-98 Cup Winners' Cup, a massive snowstorm hit at half-time. These two boys and their brooms were absolutely no match for it. We're staying in Scandinavia for Scotland's toughest away day on a windswept cliff in the Faroe Islands. In Euro 2000 qualifying, Craig Brown's men were taken to fishing village Toftir. Kevin Gallagher called the pitch a cowfield and the wind like Pitodry on a bad day. The Faroe Islands part-timers equalised in stoppage time, leading to these absolute scenes, and still one of Scotland's most embarrassing results.
Daft little ground, silly game.
But away trips don't come any tougher than a lung-busting schlep up the Andes to face Bolivia in La Paz. But now the Bolivians have taken home advantage to another level. The country's highest city, El Alto, 4,100 metres above sea level. Grass doesn't even grow up here. Bolivia have not lost here yet. The longest unbeaten run in any professional league ever belongs to Red Star Belgrade, or Crvena Zvezda if you must. They've gone 7 years without defeat at the Rajko Mitic in Serbia's Superliga. Their fans are pretty intimidating as well, but they're not as loud as this mob. Galatasaray's Ali Sami Yen Stadium's officially the loudest in world football. In a derby with Fenerbahce, Galatasaray fans set a Guinness World Record of 131 decibels. That's louder than Motorhead, and pretty tough to carry out your manager's instructions when you can't even hear them. However, our most intimidating away day is in Wales, where cameras can't enter and players can't leave. HMP Prescoed. This prison team was briefly kicked out the Gwent League over concerns about young opposition having to go in there. Now that's a tough place to go.
Early June 1939, Germany, always a tough place to go to.
This is talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark. Browse the UK's best used car deals and score your dream car today. Check out the website for more details. Gabby alongside me. Now, there's just one story this morning, which we're getting stuck into all morning. Arsenal's title charge derailing yet again. 3 times they failed to win from leading positions in 2026. And we thought there's only one man to call to join us this morning.
North London forever, whatever the weather. I do think Arsenal will win the quadruple because I'm asking myself, who's going to beat us? We are the best squad assembled in the history of world club football.
Mane's cross, spilled by the goalkeeper and driven in! Off the post and in!
I think we are now the best team in Europe, and I think we're going to show it. I think we're going to win the Premier League at a canter, probably by my birthday, March 30th.
It's 2-2 at Molineux, and Arsenal are poised to drop points.
Honestly, a team that could genuinely win the quadruple.
How do you see Pep's body language at the moment?
He's gone. Guardiola is gone.
You're so funny.
From 1-0 down, Pep Guardiola's side are in front, and they are not giving up hope of reeling in Arsenal just yet.
We are going to win the league. I wouldn't be surprised if we win it by mid-March.
And a flood of money has come in on Coral this morning. Arsenal to win nothing this year. What about that, Gab?
Could happen, mate.
So he was so smug before Christmas about Arsenal's guaranteed title. Let's see if he is just as confident right now. It's the brilliant Piers Morgan. Good morning, Piers.
Good morning, gentlemen. I've got to say that when the invitation came in earlier this morning via my PA, saying that Gabby in particular was, quotes, desperate to talk to me, every sinew of my torso was screaming, I'd rather shoot myself with a rusty World War I rifle. And then I thought, you know what? We've had enough Arsenal bottle jobs for one 12-hour period. It's actually time to face the music, face the pressure, stand up and show this Arsenal team what you do when the heat is on. You don't run away, you don't hide, you actually stand up and you take them on, which is something we singularly failed to do last night.
What's this going to tell us about Mikel this weekend coming up, Piers? Arsenal strong favourites to beat Tottenham.
Well, I couldn't think of a better place to go, frankly, than Tottenham on Sunday. And I'm presuming that between now and then, Mikel Arteta, who I've become a massive fan of, I think he's going to read them the riot act quite rightly. And I think he's going to ask them, all of them individually, well, how much do you want this? You know, you can be chokers again, as we have been for the last 3 seasons. We have, I still believe, it was a good debate that came after the last time I was on about the strength and depth of the squad. But frankly, last night, the kind of history I thought we might make this season did not include the fact that, did you know this? That there has been no side that's been top of the Premier League in history that has ever choked a 2-goal lead against someone in the relegation zone. And it's not just any team in the relegation zone. This Wolves side is arguably one of the worst teams I've ever seen in the Premier League. So how on God's earth did we build a 2-goal lead and then just fall asleep, which is exactly what we did? And the lack of intensity and passion and desire and drive in that second half. And I'll make one exception, because he's often the exception when this happens. Declan Rice is the standard I want the rest of this team to aspire to be like. Yeah. Declan Rice last night was trying everything in his powers to galvanise the team around him to play at the intensity level he was playing at. And he's done this time and again this season when I see morale and heads go down, and it's just not good enough. Yeah. But, you know, look, it's still in our hands. Yeah. We could obviously go and beat Tottenham on Sunday. And then here's my advice for Mikel. He might be ahead of me. But we have unusually, in a massive season when we're in full competitions, next week we have a week off, right? We're not playing again until we play Chelsea the following Sunday. I want these guys on a plane somewhere warm on Monday morning until Friday. I want them playing 0 football. They look completely mentally frazzled and physically jaded. So let's just give them a break. Take the pressure off them. put them on a beach, let them play beach volleyball like the pilots did in Top Gun, the first one, which then led to them going and wiping out the enemy, right? But give these guys a break. They just look, they are like a coiled spring of tension.
Piers.
And I think that's what I saw last night.
Piers, when you look at Arsenal, the reason why a lot of people are saying they're going to bottle it again, because 2022-2023 season, 248 days in first place, 8-point lead, lose the title.
Yeah.
Season afterwards, 76 days in first place. Then you lose it again. This season, you've been 9 points clear. Man City win the game in hand, it's 2 points. These players need to be read all this by their manager, have a big meeting and say, listen, everyone's going to be laughing at us. We can't do it again.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I feared, actually, something like this may happen when City somehow turned that game around against Liverpool. Because had we been 9 points clear after that, that is clearly, when you can lose 3 games and still win the league with only a few games left, obviously you're in a massively better position. But when City turned that round, you could see in City, from Guardiola to Haaland to the others, suddenly they had a surge of renewed belief. And I think that sent, unfortunately for our team, a surge of sudden slight apprehension. And, our record in the Premier League in the last 7 games has been poor. And we have not won games we should have won at a canter. And there's just not this killer. I remember the Invincibles, right? If the Invincibles went 2-0 up at half-time, someone will tell me the answer, but I can't imagine we ever choked a 2-goal lead against anyone in the bottom half of the league. You have to kill off these kind of teams when you take a 2-goal lead. And even at 2 last night, I was watching with my son and a friend of mine, and we were like still tense. We were still like, and it's because exactly what Gabby said. For 3 seasons, we basically choked the league, and we fear it's happening again. Now, we have a better squad, and we have got leaders in that team. Gabriel, Rice, others. They've got to stand up, but they also need a break. And I think we've got a perfect chance next week for a proper reset. Let's go and beat Tottenham, which shouldn't be difficult. They're one of the worst Tottenham teams I've ever seen. We can push them to within, I think, 2 points of the relegation zone if we beat them on Sunday. If that's not a motivation for Arsenal players, then what is? And then we've got another London derby. Actually, I can't think of 2 better games than a North London derby and then a derby against Chelsea to
Piers,
recalibrate.
you're not going to make the Tottenham game, are you, with your hip?
Sadly not, but I am going to make my comeback at the Chelsea game, and I am confident that we're going to win both those games because I do believe in this team and I do believe in Arteta, but I do also think we are just at the moment we're just not mentally in the right place to finish these games. And we've got to get there.
What's your thoughts on Gyökeres? Because he scored 8 goals this season in the Premier League, 3 versus Leeds, 1 versus Forest, 1 versus Burnley, 1 versus Everton, 2 versus Sunderland, 2 of those penalties. And also he's had 0 shots on target in 60% of his Premier League games. Is he the answer?
I like Gyökeres, and I think that the problem for him is he doesn't get the service. And the real crying shame of the last couple of weeks was Havertz getting injured, because the moment Havertz came back in the team, he looked like he knew exactly how to find Gyökeres, and Gyökeres suddenly started scoring. And I think I actually like Saka playing in that role as a 10 last night, because I think he tries to find him. But Gyökeres got barely any service last night. I think if we give that guy the ball, we give him service, he is going to score. And he also draws defenders and all those defences I've heard about him. I think he's a good player. First season, still finding his feet, but actually he needs the service. And the sooner Havertz gets back in the team and can find him, or if Saka can do that, the better. But look, our front 3 were awful last night, right? I thought the midfield were awful. I thought defence had the worst game they've had for several seasons. Let's not sugarcoat this. I heard you saying earlier, Alan, and you're right. You try and stay positive. We are on top of the league. We are 5 points clear. This is not a crisis. We're in 4 competitions. We are literally in a chance of winning the quadruple. But let's not be overly positive after a night last night. Let's focus on the fact that was a debacle, and we have got to be better than that.
So, Piers, just finally, Arsenal to win it by March, like you said, or is it now by April?
I will concede. I mean, all my other statements are still technically true, but I will concede our chances of winning the Premier League by mid-March have slightly receded to 2-0. No, look, it's going to be a hell of a run-in. City are going to be breathing all over us. It wouldn't surprise me at all if Newcastle beat them on Saturday and we beat Tottenham on Sunday, and suddenly it looks like we're all worrying about
Does
nothing.
Mikel remind you of Gareth Southgate by any chance? Maybe the Neely man that can't get you over the line?
Do you know what, Gabby? I knew where you were going to come from about this. So I studied your own record
Here
as
we
a
go.
footballer, right? And I'm not denigrating you. I love a one-club player, right? But it always suggests nobody else wanted you. And I looked at your record, and I was like, how many honours did the great Gabby win in his playing career? Perhaps you'd like to tell your audience how many trophies you won.
You know what I did
as
win
a
though,
player.
Piers?
Did you win a trophy?
Player of the month, where some top
No,
player didn't
yeah,
win.
you
mate.
did. What did you ever win?
Did
a
you
club
see that
trophy?
on the record?
I did. It was the only thing on your record because you never won a trophy. So whilst I will take a certain amount of ribbing from you about this, I'm kidding. You were a top player, but I do think yes, we'll take our mockery. I like what Arteta said about we'll take all the bullets. That's fine. I woken up this morning to more WhatsApps than when I got turfed out of Good Morning Britain. So it's fine, right? It's fine. Have your fun. But let me assure you, we will reset. We will beat. You can play this back in 10 days. We will beat Tottenham. We'll beat Chelsea. City will choke, probably against Newcastle on Saturday. We will win the league, and I still believe we're going to win the quadruple. And then all of the mockery is going to get reposted by me to 9 million people on my X feed for the next calendar year. Enjoy those onions.
Nice one, Piers. Enjoy the weekend.
Take care, guys.
Hopefully we'll speak next week again.
What a guy.
Nice. Coming up, we'll give the Arsenal fans a short break. We'll turn our attention to the football. Tonight, we're told earlier on that Pereira is the perfect manager for Forest. Is he right? We'll discuss that one next.
Alex, let's finish with a player we know from his time here at Chelsea, who's been more recently ploughing his trade in Germany. Reports in Germany suggest Nicholas Jackson is expected to return to Chelsea this summer because he hasn't played enough games for Bayern Munich to trigger the obligation to buy clause in his loan agreement. What more have you got in this?
Yeah, do you know what? When this deal was done, everybody said what a great piece of business it was for Chelsea because the buy option was £56 million. I never saw a scenario where Bayern Munich were going to take that up because he's just not a £60 million player, is he? Nicholas Jackson. He's got 5 goals in 22 games. They don't want to keep him. He's going to be coming back to Stamford Bridge, but I don't see a scenario where he's reintegrated into the Chelsea first team. I think they will look to sell him in the summer, but probably will have to accept a much reduced fee. And it was always going to be difficult for him to go to a club like Bayern and force his way past one Harry Kane. So these loan deals with options, some of them are not really worth the paper they're written on. I've got the option to apply for a place in the Mr. Universe contest. I'm not going to do that either.
I think you're on the way.
I like that. Danny, when it comes down...
9:23, Gabby with me. Right, Forest are on to, and not the second, not the third, but the fourth permanent manager. What's been crazy. A turbulent season. Former Wolves boss Vitor Pereira takes Forest to Fenerbahce. I think it's a tough game in the Europa League playoff round, first leg. Live on talkSPORT 2 at 5:45, early kickoff. John is Nevermore ahead of tonight's game. Legendary Forest keeper, great guy as well. Mark Crossley. Mark, morning, Mark.
Good morning, Mark.
Morning, Alan. Morning, Gabby.
Mark, I don't know what you feel, but I feel this is a tough game for Forest. Really tough.
Really tough, yeah, it is, yeah. I mean, obviously, things have gone a little bit crazy at the City Ground this season. And, yeah, Fenerbahce, I was looking at their stats. They're unbeaten. They haven't lost a game in the league, and they're having a great season. Really tough game.
Mark, how much are these two games against Fenerbahce going to take away from the league? You know, because that's the bread and butter, isn't it, at the moment? It's a shame because Forest fans wanted to enjoy this European run, but they can't really, can they? Because it's so nervy in the league.
It is. It's very nervy, Gabby. I think, obviously, we're on to our fourth manager, aren't we? It's you have to be careful that you don't become kind of a laughing stock, you know, in a way. 4 managers in the season is crazy, but we know what our owner and our chairman's like. There's one thing for sure: if he's not happy, then he does something about it immediately. I feel a bit for Sean because I thought he was doing okay. To be honest, his win percentage was pretty good. A game against Wolves in the league, which they had, I think, 30 odd shots on target. I watched the game and so unlucky not to win the game, and then the manager pulls the plug. To be going into a European tie, which you worked so hard for last season, it's a difficult time to be going into it.
Mark, you put your finger on it because you look at that Forest starting 11, or maybe the first 13 players, you think yourself, we're decent. This is half decent, especially going forward.
Yeah, the team's not too much different to what almost got into a Champions League spot last season. So I did think last season we overachieved a little bit, but you would think that momentum would carry you over into this season. But I'm hearing rumours that the players have got involved, that the training was too hard. I really hope that that's not true, because if that is true, then the game has gone. You know, I mean, Sean's a top fella, and he's been around the Premier League for ages, and it's the first time I've heard this. I hope the rumours are not true that we were training too hard and things.
When I heard this, here we go again, players. Look, we've all been players. And I thought to myself, hold on, he's brought in there to keep you up. Do you know what I mean? Sean's in there to keep you in the Premier. And you're saying that, we're falling out of love with the training, the tactics. You watch, if Forest go down, watch them all jump ship. Watch them jump ship, them players.
Absolutely. I mean, the game's become where I think, the players... I just really hope that this is not true. That I hope it is a rumour. I hope it's not true that players have gone to the owner and said these things, because, like I said, if it's true, then it's not right. The managers, Sean, it'd be ideal if you were looking for a manager to bring in now to save you from relegation. Sean Dijk would be your man. So I don't know.
I think as well, Mark. You look at their next 5 games. I mean. Liverpool at home, Brighton away. Brighton need results. Manchester City away, Fulham at home, Spurs away. All tough games, but Forest have to go into all of those games trying to win, haven't they?
They have, yeah, because West Ham are on a bit of a roll as well at the moment. Yeah. So it's going to be difficult to stay in the league. There's no doubt. I mean, let's get realistic about this. That to stay in the league this season is the main priority, and it's not going to be easy. Maybe this European game might be a good distraction. I don't know, because they've done well in Europe this year. Fenerbahce is a tough tie, but coming back to a game against Liverpool on Sunday, it's going to be really, really tough to stay in the league, which will be an absolute disaster after the hard work.
I'll be honest, I fear the worst tonight, and I fear the worst of the weekend, because I think Liverpool are coming back.
Liverpool need Champions League football, so they're going to be fighting hard for the win.
Absolutely. I think if Forest stay in the league this season, then it'll be another good achievement, because the way that this season's gone so far and all the changes, it's not looked good, has it? After last season's performances, they were absolutely outstanding last season, all season, not just for parts of it, but all season. And this year's just been total disaster, to be honest.
Well, let's see what tonight brings, Mark, and the weekend, of course. Look, I like Forest. I've got a soft spot. I don't want to see Forest go down. But tonight and the weekend is tough. We'll see how it all pans out. Mark, great to talk again. Thank you.
Top man, Mark.
Cheers, Alan. Cheers, Gabby.
I'll look at that table, Gab, very briefly, right? So you got West Ham, 24 points. And as Mark says, West Ham have found a bit of form. Forest, 27. Spurs, 29. Leeds, 30. So it's so tight. Brighton.
I think, yeah.
Brighton 31, do you know what I mean?
I look at West Ham, and I look at this weekend. West Ham go above Forest. They go on joint points, and it's only 4 goals in it.
I said weeks ago, I still think West Ham stay up. I do. I can't see Tottenham going down. I just, you know, my head says, yeah, they could do on paper. You look at the points. Yeah. But my heart's saying, no.
I think they'll have enough. I think Forest are in big trouble out of all the teams fighting down there.
What about Leeds? Do you think Leeds?
I think Leeds will have enough. I think Brighton will get results, even though
they wanted me, Brighton. They played well last week without, getting a result.
They've done okay against Villa.
Yeah,
and lost late on to a Mings header, but it's just scary times. And Spurs bringing in Igor Tudor, is that a risk? What if it doesn't work?
Spurs need a kick up the backside. I hope he's a man to do it.
Incredible.
Okay, coming up 9:30.
I don't enjoy all what goes on. Of course I don't. Who does? I don't want to see none of that. I don't like all the ranting and raving. John's obviously got a problem, him and Carl Frock, I don't know, with the two of them, and it is what it is. But it's nothing to do with me. And I've got to be honest, I have no regard for it. It's irrelevant to me. All I care about is what Tyson's doing and the fight. The rest of it's a sideshow.
You say that, Frank, but you are the promoter.
I'm not the promoter.
You're Tyson's promoter.
I'm Tyson's promoter, but I'm not the promoter of the event. It's a ring event. It's on, I have an exclusive contract with DAZN. This fight's on, as you well know, it's on Netflix.
But if you're uncomfortable with it, Frank, might you not have a word with Tyson?
I don't understand. Sorry, but I'm not responsible for what people do or in their family members are in or are with them or whether that's down to them. It's nothing that I'm not responsible, nor would I take the responsibility for that. It's no different if one of your relations starts ranting and raving and screaming and shouting. It's not down to you.
If it were an event that you were a promoter of note on, say, for example, you make the fight between the winner of Dubois versus Wardley, and you see this sort of behaviour exhibiting itself, would you put a stop to it? Would you suggest that you'd exclude John from press conferences if he can't conduct himself in an appropriate fashion?
I'm quite sure if it was my event, John would show a lot of respect for it.
Over
Over the last few years, Formula One has gone from elitist and insular to a global entertainment brand. The transformation's down to American investment group Liberty Media, who cultivated a new image for the sport since buying it in 2016. Better access to drivers, improved content on social media and tapping into the US market have given F1 a massive boost in both attention and revenues. But is everyone happy? The fans certainly are, as evidenced by Drive to Survive. Almost 7 million people per season have tuned in to get all the gossip and all the drama from the paddock. The extra exposure means the drivers can demand a higher salary too. In 2010, the top drivers were earning $20 million a year, which isn't bad. But now, the very best earn 3 times that, with Max Verstappen getting a whopping $65 million in 2025. But money doesn't always buy happiness. Some drivers, including Verstappen, don't like the pageantry the changes have brought about. In Las Vegas in 2023, Verstappen said the drivers were made to look like clowns, and the event was 99% performance and 1% race. Some purists who still watch the sport feel the same, and that the spirit of competition has suffered. But Formula One and Liberty Media don't look like slowing down anytime soon. So expect more races, major events and exclusive access in future.
25 minutes to 10. talkSPORT Breakfast with Alan Brazil, Gabby Agbonlahor and Arnold Clark, with over 20,000 used cars online to choose from. They have the car for you for sure. Right, Piers Morgan's been on this morning saying Arsenal will still win the quadruple. So are they still destined for success, or could they bottle it? Darren's a Leeds United fan and he wants to have his say. Darren, a very good morning.
Morning, Darren.
Good morning to you. Morning, Gabby. I'd just like to say good show. I listen to you every day. They're going to bottle it, Arsenal. Simple as. And I don't know if he had a hip replacement or a brain replacement. I'm not sure. I'm not sure myself. I just love the ribbon of Arsenal fans. I've got a mate of mine I used to go to Leeds games with him all the time and stuff like that. And his wife's an Arsenal fan. And they're just deluded. They're not going to win anything.
Do you think it's a mentality of the players of the football club at the moment?
The fans are deluded. I think it's mentality of players. They ain't got it in them. It's like Leeds. How many times did we bottle it when we were trying to come back up from Championship? You know, be a bit more realistic. I don't think they'll win anything this season. I think they'll bottle it in League Cup final and everything. Right?
Wow. Well, I did say the other day for a couple of quid, back Arsenal to win nothing. And you get big odds. Don't worry about it. It might have come down a little bit after last night.
Yeah, you're spot on with that. And when I say, is he a bit of Gareth Southgate? Is it Mikel Southgate? Southgate couldn't get us over the line. If Mikel Arteta doesn't win the Premier League this season, he can't get Arsenal over the line. You have to move on.
No. I tell you what, Darren, what about your boys? I'm not worried about Leeds because they've shown so much spirit. But you got a big game against Gabby's Villa at the weekend.
Yeah, we're going to do them over. Nah, it's going to be a tough game, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think we're playing good
well,
at the moment. But yeah, not too bad. But it's just that final thing all the time. We just can't get them wins. But it's just bit like Arsenal, isn't it?
Just 1 ahead of Spurs and 3 ahead of Forest. So Leeds, you got to be careful, really hard. You need a couple of wins just to take the pressure off.
That's what we need. Well, obviously, we made Ellen Road a fortress sort of thing, obviously, apart from when Arsenal can. But I think we're doing so well this season. Obviously, people said we'd go straight back down, but I don't think we will. I think we'll stay up.
I hope so. I hope they stay up. Thank you. Right, time for a daily. Is Kevin coming on? Kevin, the Arsenal fan. Kev, how are you feeling this morning, Kev?
Well, obviously, the result is disgraceful, but what can you do? We're still... That geezer you just spoke to just now, just before me, he needs his brain tested. We ain't going to win nothing. We're in the FA Cup. We're in the... playing Man City in the Carabao Cup. We're in the Champions League, and we're top of the league. We're guaranteed... We're winning the league.
Are you? Why are you guaranteed?
No, listen, we're not. You just said earlier that your second team's Arsenal. You ain't stopped coating them off.
No, but I'm just being honest. Like it's go time now, and Arsenal are crumbling.
Well, let me finish. We're 8 of 13 on to win the league.
And
so we're favourites.
And
when we play City at City, that's the telling game.
Okay, we'll see.
That's what
3 wins out of 8, 2026. Not great, but we'll see.
Anyway, I'm an Uber driver. Alan, I'm an Uber driver. I've got an Arsenal supporter on, and that's unbelievable, isn't it? And your producers rang me up while I've got the person on. Go on, say something, mate.
It was terrible last night. It was dire. The team looked a bit lazy. It was they should have just carried on at 2-0.
It's what you do, though.
Yeah, well, look, Kev, with the greatest respect, Arsenal still have a glorious chance. There's no doubt about it. Your record against Spurs of late is brilliant. You've still got to go to City, so it's still Arsenal's to throw away. Although if City win every game, they win it. But you shouldn't be in that position.
Do us a
Arsenal
favour.
should be clear. They should be clear.
Can you give Kevin a poor rating on Uber, please?
Listen,
Tip's going to be on.
Yeah, Abby, I'm the daddy at the Uber driving. Go on, behave yourself to Perry up.
Cheers, guys. Have a safe journey. Thank you. Time for a daily update from the Winter Games in beautiful Milano Cortina. Day 13 features curling at the quarterfinal stage, ski mountaineering, freestyle skiing and figure skating. 6 golds are up for grabs today, so let's preview the day's action with TNT Sports pundit and 2-time gold medalist ski racer Tina Mays. Tina, a very good morning.
Good morning, Tina.
Hi, good morning from Cortina. It's snowing today, so really nice winter conditions.
Tina, I was watching yesterday, said the snow is going to come down, and quite a bit of it as well, Tina.
Yeah, and it's making some troubles because every time when it's snowing here, everyone is kind of in mess. They have to clean their cars, clean the streets, so it gets kind of tricky when it starts to snow, but we love the snow. Yeah. We love the winter,
Yes.
so...
Tina, what have you made of the games so far? Are you happy? Has there been good games? Has there been disappointments or, the favourites doing so well?
Of course, there's everything at the Olympics. There is disappointment, but there is also success and such great inspiring stories like Federica Brignone did. She was injured 6 months from this, and now she's back in the skiing, and she won gold in Super G, gold in giant slalom. Then Lucas Bratten bringing Brazil to the map of alpine skiing. I think that was really unique too. Then Switzerland winning 3 golds with von Halmen. So many, many great stories.
And Norway biathlete, unbelievable. How many golds has he won?
Yeah, I mean, that's simply wow. No words. I don't know how these athletes can manage such a strong performances for so many times. This is something unbelievable.
Tina, the Olympic Village is known for antics, shall we say. Can you give us a bit of insight into what actually goes on?
What do you mean antic? Sorry.
things happen in the Olympic Village. Can you explain to us what goes on there?
Parties, or what do you mean?
Yeah, things like that. Yeah.
Olympic Village is the athletes' Olympic Village where the athletes are staying, but there's also village of Cortina where many lands have their own houses, like Austrian house, Switzerland house, Slovenian house, Italy house, and where they usually celebrate all the success of their athletes. And yesterday we just visited the Slovenian house where we were just hanging out, sharing some moments with the athletes, with the organizers, with so many people that work to make this Olympics happen.
Yeah, I tell you what, Tina, I didn't read the whole story, but I had a quick look, and I'm so pleased that Lindsay Vaughan is okay now. I think she's back home.
Me too, actually. I was surprised she could be transferred with a plane to her home, having that serious injury, but hopefully, well, we know Lindsay, she's a fighter, and we know she will come back and recover from this dramatical crash and this dramatical scenario that happened. Unfortunately, her skiing was at that certain point too aggressive, and that brought her too close to the gate where she struggled with the hand, and that rotated her. So yeah, I guess not an easy injury for her, having already partial replacement of her knee. So finding yourself in this situation must be hard, but Lindsay is a fighter, and she will get it back.
Tina, you mentioned Slovenia. You're Slovenian. Have you had a good game so far?
Well, Slovenia won 2 gold and 1 silver. I think we have much more potential, but still we are happy with ski jumping. We have a great nation of ski jumpers. Sometimes in alpine skiing, the sport where I was also successful at, we miss kind of the most important competitors. So I really hope for Slovenia that can reproduce some of the great champions also in alpine skiing.
Brilliant. Tina, listen, enjoy the weather. It is the Winter Games after all. And good luck to Slovenia, and good luck for the rest of the games. And thank you for joining us.
For having me. Enjoy your time.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
So 6 goals up for grabs today. All thanks to TNT Sports and our pundit there, Tina Mays.
You do know they had to restock the condoms.
Oh, Gabby, settle down.
They did. I'm just telling you, true story.
There's nothing wrong with that.
10,000.
That happens in the Olympics as well.
I'm just saying that, like, I'm just giving you a fact. They had to restock the condoms.
It's a bit cold for that over there.
I know, mate. I know. But just...
Are they smaller than...
Oh, let's move on.
10:15.
All right, let's go to Theo. He's a Liverpool fan. All right, Theo?
All right, Theo.
All right, lads, how are we doing?
All right, matey.
All right, Theo. Do you want to talk about Saka?
Well, I was sort of, now you've brought it up, I was wanting to talk about, the Vinicius Junior, Saka, and the sort of Van Dijk.
Go on.
You got a lot to talk about. We're off air at 1.
Come on.
I'll try.
Get your points across.
Okay, so first one, the Vinicius Junior one. I think the celebration's fine. I've seen much worse. It's football. This stuff happens at the end of the day. The fact that the fact that people like Jose Mourinho and other people are saying that the celebration means that can kind of justify the racism and what happened after that, I think is outrageous and a little bit disgusting.
I think what you said though was about talking about Eusebio, the greatest player, one of the greatest Portuguese players at the time, played for the club. I'm not sure he was defending it. I think he was saying that they're not racist because their best player was black.
But that's not really an excuse.
No, it's not.
No, of course not.
No, but I don't think he was defending it or excusing it.
When it comes to Saka, I'd say I wouldn't have him in the Liverpool squad. Well, not in this. I wouldn't have him in the starting 11.
Squad, does he? Well, you backtrack quickly there.
Well, no.
Does he get in your squad?
He.
.50 on talkSPORT. Some of the headlines you're waking up to this morning. World champion Luke Littler through to the semis of the Premier League event in Glasgow on Thursday following the withdrawal of Michael van Gerwen, who has an infection, I believe. Dutch was supposed to face Littler in the quarter-final, pulled out of the third of 16 events in the Premier League because of a medical issue. Liverpool, they need a win on Sunday as they travel to relegation-threatened Forest if they are to remain in the race for the Champions League. Boss Arne Slot has been speaking this morning on the difficulty of the Premier League this season.
No, compared to a few weeks ago, I don't think a lot has changed. And I think we've now, from the last 19 games, we've lost twice, and twice we've lost in extra time. And in my opinion, twice not. We did not deserve to lose both of those games. We didn't need yesterday to know how difficult it is to win a Premier League game. We've experienced this season already a lot of times, and I think all the teams experienced it. It is that's what made the Premier League nicer this season and last season. That it's much more competitive than probably 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years ago.
Gabby, I don't know if I've spoke to you since. What a game that was, Liverpool City.
Oh, fantastic! But the rules, not the referee. The referee got it right. The rules ruined the ending because it was hilarious watching it.
For me, it didn't. 71-2-1.
I know you had a bet, didn't you? But Szoboszlai obviously fouled Haaland first. Haaland fouled him back. Goal goes in. Play on. Why'd you have to go to the rules and say no? Szoboszlai has to get sent off. That ruined it for me, but it was an entertaining game.
Yeah.
City showing fight, and that's what's going to scare Arsenal.
Well, yeah, and Liverpool Champions League slot, I think they'll do it. It's not going to be easy, but I think they'll sneak in.
Yeah, what, into the top 5?
Yeah.
It's going to be different.
Yeah. Gabby, they're just 2 behind Chelsea.
I know.
3 behind United. Anything can happen.
Anything can happen. It's all going to go down to probably the last 2 or 3 games because Manchester United have obviously picked up Chelsea's record in the last 5, won 4 of the last 5 games. Villa need to get their act together. Important game for them on the weekend against Leeds. Got to get back to winning ways at home, especially. So it's going to be an entertaining end to the season. We've got a title race, we've got a top 5 race, and we've still got a relegation battle. That's what we want from the Premier League.
What about SPL? Celtic just favourites, then Rangers, then Hearts.
Big games coming up as well.
Hearts are just losing key players at the wrong time.
Rangers were very good against Hearts. I watched bits of that game. They didn't.
You're a bit of a blue nose now.
I'm in between, mate. I'm a bit of both, Al. But Celtic have got Hibernian, and we know Hibernian this season have been very good, haven't they, at times. Falkirk as well. That's not going to be easy for Hearts at home. Rangers, Livingston away. Livingston pushed Celtic at Celtic Park, didn't they, last week? So anything can happen, Alan. But I would say Celtic are obviously favourites because they've got that game in hand, which will put them level on points with Hearts.
It's going to be, well, it's great. To be honest, it's great in England and in Scotland, isn't it?
You know what I love, though? And it's what you love about football. The Celtic winner against, was it Kilmarnock?
97th minute.
Yes, and then when I saw the clip of it, great finish, but just the celebrating with the fans, jumping in, and all the fans are running across, and it's funny because you see the stewards and the police running over to try and
Well, there could have been an overreaction, and there wasn't, thank goodness.
No, but that's what football's about, Al. I've been there when you score last-minute winners and you jump in the crowd and you see his face in the crowd, the player. That's what football's about. And imagine if, VAR chalked the goal off because there was a push 2 minutes ago. Do you know that's what VAR ruins? But luckily for Celtic,
first half were dreadful.
Yeah,
Martin must.
It's not easy to play there, though, is it? The 3G pitch.
He made the chart. Yeah, but look, that pitch, Gab. You want a touch, you want ability. Celtic have got more ability than Kilmarnock.
Yeah.
So there's no excuses, man.
No.
None.
But if Martin does win the title for Celtic, do you think he takes the job full time? I do.
No, well,
I still think he does, Al.
Well, he clearly loves it still, but they're talking about
Martinez.
Yeah, Martinez, whose wife's Glasgow.
Yeah.
So we'll see, and I'd be happy with Martinez.
Yep, I think he's a fantastic man. He knows Sean Maloney.
I was saying that if Martin stays, great.
Yeah.
You know, don't get me wrong.
Martinez knows Maloney well, doesn't he?
Yeah,
worked with him.
Right. What about Gab? You've been looking at the run-in for both City and Arsenal. Just to finish off, what do you think? Who do you make favourites right now? Martin Keown has said 6 points is more comfortable than 9 in terms of a lead for Arsenal. How do you feel about 5 points clear now? So City have got light at the end of the tunnel, big style here.
I'll just look at Arsenal's run-in. Spurs on the weekend, though. That could easily be a draw.
It could be anything.
Yeah, it's hard to predict, but I've gone for a draw in that game. I've gone for Chelsea at home for Arsenal. It's going to be a tricky game. Chelsea need points for the top 5. Are you playing teams that are fighting for something? I've gone to draw in that game.
Yeah, but away from home, not so sure.
I've gone to draw for that game. I've got them to beat Brighton away. I've got them to beat Everton at home. I beat Bournemouth at home. I've got them to lose to Manchester City away. I think Man City win that game. I've got them to beat Newcastle at home, beat Fulham at home, draw against West Ham away. I think that's a tough game. Yeah, that's in 9th of May, that game is. West Ham are going to need points.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen now with this title race. Teams need points now. Like, I think West Ham, Spurs...
Yeah, you want to be playing... you want to be playing mid-table tiers.
Exactly like Arsenal got Burnley. Win. Then they've got Crystal Palace away, their last game of the season, which is never an easy place to go. You know what it's like, Al, that last game of the season, Palace probably not playing for anything, and you want to leave...
London derby.
Yeah, you want to leave your last game of the season with a good result for your fans. Then look at Manchester City, Newcastle, I think they win on the weekend. Leeds United away, that could be a tricky one, but I think they get over the line in that. Forest at home, I think they win. I think they draw against West Ham away as well. Manchester City. Chelsea away, I've gone for a draw. Arsenal obviously at home, I've gone for a win. Burnley away, win. Everton at home, win. Everton away, win. Brentford at home, win. Bournemouth away, I've gone for a draw. That can be a tricky game for everyone. And then Villa, last game of the season, I've gone for a draw. But it's obviously...
So who wins it?
I haven't worked out yet. Didn't have time. But Al, we're guessing here. We obviously don't have a clue what's going to happen. But
injuries.
I just think injuries. Who goes further in the Champions League? More games.
Yeah.
Who wins the Carabao Cup? Does that have a say on things? If Arsenal lose that, mentally, are they like, whoa, okay, Man City are better than us? Okay, do we even lose even more points?
Yeah.
I just think at the moment, if I was picking a team to win the Premier League, I'll pick Manchester City.
Nice one, Gabby.
Top man out.
Have a nice weekend, mate. Try to get rid of this tickle.
Yes.
Don't miss tomorrow morning. Ray Pyramid Parlour is back from Egypt. We'll get his thoughts on the Arsenal run-in right now. I bet he's not even watching it. White and Jordan coming next. Have a great day. Speak to you tomorrow at 6.
Saka is now Arsenal's top earner as the England winner has signed a 5-year contract worth at least £78 million.
That's amazing, isn't it?
I mean, that
is amazing.
That's phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Jason Cundy was speaking in the sports bar last night and whether Saka's position on the right wing for England is in jeopardy.
But I think there's definitely an argument to be said that he, in a World Cup year, where I would say before he was a nailed-on, guaranteed, 100% starter out wide right for Thomas Tuchel,